I always forget that YouTube actually takes like 3 seconds after I click the button to actually get live. But hello, everyone. Well, I am Bugboy1014, otherwise known as Benreal, and welcome to my live stream.
I'm Fox.
Yes, I'm here with Blockford, aka Kathingus. And today, I will be cleaning the giant freaking mess that Roll20 did. I don't know if I'll finish this today. I probably won't, but I'll get a good way through it using my new formatting method. Okay. Also, we have some nice background music for you all now. Also courtesy of Fox pointing out a certain YouTube channel to me that I quite enjoy. Excuse me. If I get bored of this, or something catches my eye, I may or may not move on to something else to do today. But for now, this is what I'm going to work on. Meanwhile, Fox, I believe I gave you something that you could work on today. Would you like to tell the audience at home what it is?
Working on the Great Worm Patron.
Yeah. Specifically working on touching it up and reformatting it and all that jazz. Because it's a bit dated. It's from back in the day when we would just copy and paste the whole thing into there and call it a day.
Because I didn't want people to just look at the website. I wanted it to be easier.
Right, which this is easier, but with what we've done recently, we've gotten a lot better about, actually writing things out. And, I mean, a lot of it can't be just copy and paste, but there is certain things that need to be changed. For example, the golden trade power needs to be reworded in a lot of ways because of how it works specifically in my campaign. Not only in terms of pricing, but also in terms of what's available. And then there's the fact that... Sorry, go ahead.
I said yes.
Yeah, and then there's the fact that Great Worms work differently in my campaign, and Gem Dragons are entirely omitted from a Great Worm patron. So, yeah, no, there's a lot of things that need to be added. Also, the part at the end about half-dragons, that needs to be touched up on, because they're talking about normal monster stat block half-dragons, not the half-dragons that are in my campaign. So, the ones listed at the high-level abilities would be a combination of the two. A combination of the monster stat block and the one player race.
You mean Dragon Apotheosis?
Yes.
No.
The 14th level and the 10th level abilities. I'm pretty sure those are Dragon Apotheosis and then something else. I don't remember what it's called.
Zenith of Evolution.
That's it. Also, it should be notable that the ritual to get to that point does require you to drink dragon blood. Meaning, at some point in there, it should be mentioned that you gain a pint of your patron's dragon blood every month that you must drink. Which, if we remember, dragon blood actually has its own effects as well in our campaign. So, yeah. And Great Worm Dragon Blood is especially potent. Do you know why, Fox?
It's a fucking Great Worm.
Yes. And specifically, it has the effects of all of its corresponding dragons. So, a metallic Great Worm's Dragon Blood has the effects of every metallic Dragon Blood, all stacked. Which includes Celestro in this case. So, yeah, it's a lot of writing. And I figured this would be a good way for you to take 4 hours, because it's about how long they need to drink. Aqua Delirium.
I don't know exactly what changes to do, but I'll try my best.
Yeah, I'm not expecting you to finish it today or even work on it whole thing today. I just figured that you didn't want to just sit here doing nothing. I know you don't like sitting here doing nothing while I'm just doing things. You're like, I'm gonna go. I'm like, okay. Unless I'm wrong about that.
Depends.
Do you want to talk about?
No, it's just the only reason I was doing that was just I was trying to make sure it doesn't freaking flip out again.
Okay.
It did.
I should probably make a separate note for feats, now that I think about it.
Oh, we did.
Well, we have notes for each of the feats, but I mean, like, one of the big organizational notes. You know, the ones with nested links.
Did that?
I think I should make one of those. Well, because I have ones for useful information. I have one for classes and subclasses. I have one for spells. I have one for homebrew rules. I have one for items, and I have one for the Adeptus starting program. I don't have one for feats so far. Go ahead.
We did have a feats one, but it disappeared. I forgot.
Great. We did.
Yeah,
My phone says hi.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna make a feats one. This is also why we're gonna put the epic boons thing. Just the note in general. So for those
Yeah,
who-
I had to delete one of the epic boons, not the epic boons that we made, because apparently one of the books made a second epic boons thing, so I had to carefully look to see, like, which is ours.
Thank you for making sure which is ours first.
Because I'm like, I don't want to have two, because I know people are going to be confused.
The phone agrees. So, for those of you at home who don't know what I'm currently doing, I'm doing a little thing that I learned in Roll20 after this giant debacle, and that's nested notes. Basically, if I surround the name of the note with square brackets, and the name exactly matches a note that I have written out, then when I save that, it then becomes a purple link that I can click on to go directly to that other note. And there's no limit to how many times I can do this, so I can have a note within note within note within note. Now, this might seem a little pointless because, well, yeah, I could click on this thing to click here, but I could also just click on the note directly, right? Well, yes, but what this allows me to do is the notes that I have nested in other ones, I can then just archive. Which has two purposes. One, that reduces clutter, because now instead of there being hundreds of miscellaneous notes, they're now condensed into like 5 or 6 notes that you can look at that have all the other notes linked in them. But also, two, it cuts down on lag actually, because if an item is archived, it won't be loaded when the game starts until it's actually needed. So, archiving things actually cuts down on lag. Who knew?
It makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, so for example, for Arcane Fletcher, I just do brackets, Arcane Fletcher, making sure to match the exact capitalization and spelling, and then other bracket, and I click save, and then boom. I now in my feats note have Arcane Fletcher here, and if I just click it, oh, right. I already have Arcane Fletcher open. Okay. If I close my Arcane Fletcher note and I click it, it opens. Huzzah. That almost scared me for a second.
You almost scared me!
And that works for epic boons or common magic items. Here's an example of a nested note, by the way. Because I have items, and I can click common magic items. Inside common magic items, there's 3D compass, which I can click on, which opens the engine for 3D compass. Tell me that isn't so much more freaking clean than the old system we used.
Oh, that's so much better. You could just look and look.
Right? It's like I want to look at all of the magic items in the campaign. Okay, well, just look in the items note. Pick your rarity and just look.
The only thing is if there's an item that like nobody knows of yet.
Fun fact: I believe if you try to click on an item that you aren't able to see, it either doesn't show up or it shows up with a blank screen. I don't know for sure, but I believe that's what happened. Also, did I put... Okay, I did. I put Aqua Delirium there, so I can close that. And then certain items like Aqua Delirium, they have the nice thing that while people can see them, their properties are hidden in the GM notes, which only the GM can see.
Oh!
Go ahead.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Which, I think you did that, because you're the one that put them in.
Yeah. There's a lot of items that I put in that we forgot to look at last time. Like, I think I went through some things, not the classes or the races, but I went through the items, just put them in throughout the break.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I took a break. And there were certain things like the ancient battle axe that didn't remember what the rarity was, so I just kind of had to look at the properties and kind of judge what rarity it should be.
Wait. There should be on the list. Like, you can roll for the items. I put it on the list.
Oh, the list with 600 entries. Let me just scroll through that to try and find it.
Should be near the bottom.
Okay. I will tell you, I did not look at the list. If you would like to, you may, but
I'm sorry, I did that as a way to help you.
Sorry, go ahead.
I did that as a way to help you.
Yeah. If you want to do that, you can go ahead. For now, I just went ahead and said it's very rare based off what properties I could see. And at the end of the day, I think that's fine, because worse comes to worse, these are homebrew items. There's not like it's set in stone what they are. And when we first put them into a category, it was based off of what we judged of them. So me judging them again and putting them in the category is the same thing we did initially.
I know there's a lot that I didn't know because we put in question mark rarity or unique.
Yeah. There's one that you put in that I didn't know anything about, and that's the Arcane Propulsion Arm.
You put it in.
Did I? Oh, wait. Actually, I think this might be from Eberron.
Oh.
Yeah, I think this is from Eberron, because I just noticed it talks about House Cannon. And I'm like, House Cannon? I don't remember writing an entry of that. I'm like, wait, that's from the setting Eberron. Fun fact, by the way, we can drag normal magic item notes into here that we could add to our lists if we wanted to.
Okay.
So that is possible. Man, I like this music, though it's slightly loud. Let me turn it down a little bit.
It's not my end.
I know, but I guess I might just have my TV turned up. What does my computer say? It's about mid. Okay, that's fine. They should be able to hear it okay on the screen. And yeah, there's a lot of notes in here that got unorganized that weren't even supposed to be notes anyway. They were just stuff like, hey, Eberron, I want to add all my things in. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's probably an Eberron thing, because I just noticed Armblade has a note. And I know that's an Eberron magic item. We've mentioned Armblade a couple of times.
We didn't even touch that because I was like, "Where's that from?" And I think you're like, "Oh yeah, that's not from here."
Yeah, no, that's from Eberron. Also it can only be used on Warforged. But then there's stuff like Orgonescent, which is just lore things about a dragon, and I'm like, I'll just delete that note.
That's not necessary.
Oh, we're not running the Eberron campaign.
Yeah, unless we have that specific dragon for some reason.
Yeah, normally I would delete it in its entire folder if I was still doing that, but guess what I don't have? The folder.
I don't know why. I think it's because they all unloaded at once. They did that.
Yep.
I heard that's a chance thing of happening.
Yep. I heard too. I'm actually making a small retcon to the arm blade from how it is in Eberron. It says they can only be attuned to by a Warforged. I say attuned to by a Warforged or a mechanical construct. Because I don't see why, for example, a Iron Golem can't equip an arm blade.
I think I put, for example, I think the Phantom has it.
I know the Phantom has a improved battle fist.
Has an improved battle fist, and I think he has like some kind of blade. I did give him a blade that like is fitting of the design.
Don't remember.
I have time to think about it.
One small problem about the whole purple link thing is that it tends to sometimes absorb things. So, for example, if you like click the end of one and then click enter to do a new line, when you click enter to do a new line, that new thing is going to still connect back to the other item.
So how do you fix that?
There isn't an easy way to fix it. As in, that's flavor text for me saying, I don't know how to fix it. So that's why I'm putting placeholder in a lot of places. That way it gives me something that isn't a link for me to click on to go off of.
Posted the song I'm currently listening to right now.
Is it the song that we're playing on stream?
It's called Wild Wonders. Gives me
So
Zelda vibes.
okay. So it's not one. Okay. We are currently listening to Large City. If you want to see something derpy looking, go to items, common magic items, and just look at what's happened to the 3D compass.
I am scared. What did you do to my precious baby?
I made it slightly derpy, and I didn't mean to. You'll see.
Items, common magic.
Yes. Look. Not in the node itself, in the common magic items. Do you see it?
Oh god. Why is it D compass?
The 3 and the S became unhooked to the link. I mean, you can still click it and get to it, but like... okay. Enough of that. Arm blade. Oh. Armor of Draconic Wild Shape. What are you again?
I think it allows druids to wild shape of dragons.
Yeah, but when I said that, I was talking about what rarity are you?
Artifact. Either artifact or legendary.
It's not an artifact. I don't believe it's legendary. I ain't all that strong. But I think it was very rare, if I remember correctly.
Was it? I remember you saying it's an artifact for reasons, and I'm like, but it's not that strong.
The Ring of Ascension is an artifact.
That is something that's powerful. Yeah, that's something that Thegus wants to take as a later goal. He doesn't want to do that right now, but still.
The Dragon Horde's thing only has one artifact in it, and it's the Ring of Ascension. There's no other artifact in that book. So, no. Yeah. I don't have the ability to look that up right now.
It did also add a background for adopted.
Nice. Also, yeah, this is probably legendary just off the fact that it's an armor with +2 bonus to AC. Then again, it's hide, which kind of sucks.
Ever figure this out, Bug? How much does do you put for AC if it's a +3 shield?
How much
Is it 6?
Wait, hold on. So how much AC does it provide if it's +3 shield is what you're asking? That's 5, because the normal shield provides +2. And
Thank
3
you.
more would make it 5.
This is why I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, part of why the shield spell is so good is basically temporarily giving you a +3 shield.
To be fair, Cathagos has the shield spell permanently up, which she is glad to have. Same with Raiju, same with all the constructs.
Pretty much same with Clockwork too, because he can just spam shield whenever he wants, because they're unlimited first level spells. He doesn't have it always up, but he is always available. Oh god.
Yeah,
I just thought of something. Go ahead.
shield and silvery bars first level spells.
Yes, I was about to say, I just thought of the fact that he has unlimited silvery bars.
I think he tried to keep on doing that last session. Last session was the rebirth of "fuck you, I cast silvery barbs."
Man, if he can find a way to get more than one reaction in a turn, he'll be very busted.
Isn't there an epic boon?
Yes.
Let's get the boon of time dilation, and then you're more busted. Yes. Even then, you need to have more time. You can't just get that. You have to invest time or do something special.
Given the shocked face from Surtur, yeah, he just said, I didn't realize with the silvery barbs.
There's a lot of first level spells you can spam, like Magic Missile.
Well, yeah, I just brought up those because those are specifically reaction spells, and they're obnoxious reaction spells. Now, you might say, what about counter spell? And to that, I say it's not a first level spell.
Counter spell is not first level. I think it's 5th.
And the counter spell is 3rd level.
Oh, I was about to say it's either 3rd or 5th. I know it's stronger than Surtur can do right now. Wait, Surtur's 9th. Jesus.
Surtur can cast counter spell because, and I know that for a fact, because he did it last session, if you remember. He tried to counterspell Dominate Monster.
Tried. He really did try.
Sorry, Hold Monster, not Dominate Monster. It required a Arcana check of DC 15. He failed and dropped like a stone, but still, he did pass it. Those who don't know what the hell we're referring to, watch our D&D campaign. We have some ridiculous characters in it.
I also keep a freaking thing that says a legendary loot box, which I'm going to plan on maybe opening, like,
Yeah.
when we're done with, like, a lot of the big planning.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I have some plans that I want to share with you, and I guess I'll share it on the stream. So, remember Thorun? Do you remember one of the big things that he's been wanting to fight?
Jaden.
Actually, no, he's cooled down from Jaden. He's specifically been wanting to fight 3 things. 1, elves. 2, vampires. And 3, a lich.
Combine all 3!
Not quite. I already have plans for vampires later. Sorry, go ahead.
Vampire elf.
I'll wait until I can get the Ravenlock book to do vampires. But as for liches, I'm beginning to build my lich. And trust me, he's going to take a bit of the Dracul route, where he's going to be either a Revenant or a Reborn. And I have plans. And you want to know what fictional character I'm basing this lich off of? Ein Zul Go.
Oh yeah, you talked about it.
Yeah. But that's secret. Don't let Thor know.
Oh, don't worry, I won't.
I say before he's secretly lurking in the chat, and then he goes, then he just starts blabbing about it in the server. Yeah.
To remind myself how much fucking downtime and things I could do with the freaking constructs, since they don't need to sleep.
Right. That's one. Oh, excuse me. If you don't mind me changing the subject slightly.
Of course.
That's one nice thing and weird thing about YouTube compared to Twitch is I have no ability to see how many people are viewing me currently. Like, I have no ability to see when people leave likes on the actual stream or how many people are currently viewing the stream or none of that. I have no indication of any of that like I do at Twitch. Which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because I don't need to think about that sort of stuff because out of sight, out of mind. It's a bad thing because I can't see it when I do want to know if someone's actually here or not. Unless they talk in the chat. If they talk in the chat, then I can see them. But otherwise, if they're just lurking in the background, I can't really see them. But that's fine. Because I don't need to worry about it nearly as much, because I don't have the figure constantly in front of my face the way it normally was in OBS. Thoughts on this?
To be fair, I forgot that he wants to fight a fucking vampire.
Yes, but thoughts on the whole YouTube streaming thing?
It's interesting. Never thought about streaming on YouTube much. I used to have YouTube videos. I've never seen that much people do it, but I feel like everyone's moving to it recently. Why?
Yeah. I moved from Twitch to YouTube for practical reasons, pretty much.
I understand. I don't judge anyone.
Well, I've explained my reasoning as to why before. Do you want me to explain it again?
Sure.
So, my reasoning as to why I switched from Twitch to YouTube is 3, actually. 1, I already have a few hundred subscribers on YouTube, and I wasn't getting much of a following on Twitch. Two, I wanted to upload my streams to YouTube. I used to record streams as I did them, but found out that tanked my performance on stream and also caused my computer to overheat. So then I was doing I'll upload my VOD later to YouTube afterwards. But ultimately, that became so much of a hassle over time, I just kind of stopped doing it because they didn't have motivation to do it anymore. Until I just wasn't uploading anything to my YouTube channel. But my YouTube channel has continued to grow regardless of that. And so I was like, wait, why don't I just stream directly on YouTube? Because then after the stream is done, it just becomes a video of that length. It's not like I was doing editing on my videos anyway. I don't do editing on my videos anyway. I was uploading the raw stream, so why not just stream directly on YouTube? That way it's uploaded to my channel. And then the third reason is I don't really have anything tying me down to Twitch. Like, the only system I really miss from Twitch is the raid system. But considering I only usually ever got under 10 streamers, I was never impacting much people with raids anyway. So, those are the reasons why I switched. Your thoughts?
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, as I said, I did it for practical reasons, and the biggest reason was the whole uploading thing. That way I actually get more content to my YouTube channel. If anyone wants me to go back to Twitch, I might do a Twitch live stream at some point if it's popular demand, but otherwise, well, not for a while anyway.
Keep things chill right now.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, if you're wondering where tools are going, they're going in useful information.
Okay.
Yeah.
You answered that before I even thought about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to have a note for tools, because I think that would fall into the more broad branch of useful info. Thankfully, while it removed everything from the folders, it more or less alphabetized it, which does actually help me a little bit, because it means in a lot of cases I don't need to worry about if it's in alphabetical order.
The funniest thing is it alphabetized it, but it put my name at the very bottom of the list.
That actually wasn't its fault. That was my fault. And the reason why is because that was a remnant from back when I thought you could archive character sheets and it would be fine. But I found out that if you do that, you then cannot drag the character sheet out onto the map because you can't access to drag it. So I had to unarchive those things. And when I unarchived them, they put them at the bottom of the list. So you're at the bottom of the list because I had to unarchive your character sheet.
To be fair, I did fix it.
Yeah. That's also the reason why Dread was down there. So, when you're saying that, like, all this other stuff, yeah, no, that's money. That's not money.
I thought when ABDC, I thought I put C at the end. I'm like, why? It knows exactly what it's doing.
Yes. Close that. Close that. Is there anything else running on my PC that can slow it down? Yes. Close that. Close that. Close that. Close that. All the little icons from the bottom of my tray I don't need right now. All of it. I don't want your gaming platform auto-updating my shenanigans because I know that I'm in a live stream. I need to focus on this.
Gosh dang it, I like the Wild Wonders song.
It's neat. I like it too.
It's good just roaming around town music.
Yeah. The problem I'm running into with a lot of this music, though, I mean, not this particular artist, but just in general, is how many people just mute Roll20 and don't even listen to music.
I mean, there's a lot of songs in this that would fit for certain situations.
Yes, but how many people are actually going to listen to them, and also what's the odds I'm going to remember to use them in those situations? There's been many times where combat has happened. I just left Rivertown going.
I mean, I told you about the pirate fight thing, which I'm like, I don't have any music for a pirate fight. I remember you saying we need music for the pirate fight that's coming up. I'm just gonna use that one.
Yeah. Which, fun fact, Jados is currently trying to be a bit of a pseudo-villain so far in the campaign.
I love that. I love it. Just like, I love so much things that happen. Just like Dracula, just like, fuck this. Fuck that one bird in particular. You die.
Right.
Because all to him he saw is like, this bird appear whenever a scrying sensor happened. Maybe coincidence, but I'm taking that shot. That was totally a character for him, too.
Yes, Dracul. It was very much a moment of fuck you and fuck the couch you rode in on. Yeah.
I just like how I ended it with freaking, and we're just going, it's like, Surtur, where the fuck is the broom?
Yeah.
Means a lot to the family, where the fuck is the broom?
You like that little mystery I stuck in there?
I love it. I just like how we ended directly on that sentence and Surge just going, ah! It was the case of two just giant people coming up to him going, where the fuck is the broom?
Yeah. It's the case of the missing broom handle.
God damn it.
Also, I was going to put the apothecary note in classes, but then I noticed there's nothing in it. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're still waiting on that book.
Yeah.
Hopefully you eventually get that book. Given some of the recent Wizards of the Coast stuff, that's actually a little scary.
Yeah.
For that.
People are talking about refunds. Is all I know so far.
Ooh. Well, I hope at the end of the day, if it falls out, you do at least get a refund.
Yeah, there's a major construct between Wizards of the Coast, and apparently Magic is pissed off at Wizards.
Good. Magic the Gathering should be pissed off at Wizards. Which, you want to know what's funny about that?
So the fact that half their official stuff comes from Magic at this point.
Yes, and also, I believe Magic the Gathering is also ran by Wizards of the Coast.
Yes. So they both share off each other.
Yeah, a lot of the pictures that they use in D&D anymore isn't art that they commission, it's just art they take from Magic the Gathering. A good example, go look at the thing for Artillerist Artificer, that gnome with the cannon on his arm, sorry, not Artillerist, Battlesmith Artificer. That, dude with the bear, steel bear, that's Magic the Gathering art. That's a card in Magic the Gathering, that Steel Defender bear thing, with the person next to it. They just took it and said, no, this is Battlesmith Artificer. They're getting increasingly lazy.
Getting increasingly lazy, and it's kind of cathartic because they're being called out on being extremely lazy.
Yes. They've fallen into the trap that many amateur DMs do. But just copying and pasting things that everyone else does, and not coming up with original ideas. Which you might say, well, you've done that a lot too. I'm like, well, yes, but I at least come up with original ideas. And usually, when I take someone else's thing, One, I don't do it for monetary reasons, and two, I usually tweak it to make sure that it's not just a direct copy.
Oh, same here. That's what we've been doing a lot with that. It's just like I found this, tweak this, and do this.
Yeah,
Sometimes you say yes, and sometimes you say no.
yeah, like the Great Worm patron, for example. That one has been tweaked quite a bit. And another one is the Half Dragons, the one Half Dragon cheat that you found on Reddit all those years ago.
That wasn't me that found out. That was Zokurai.
Was that Zucker? Okay. But yeah, that one that was found all those years ago. That was very much. I won't say a collaborative effort, but like it kind of was a collaborative effort where there's a lot of people that just helped it be made.
Yeah, we took our own spin on Dragon Chess.
Sorry, go ahead.
We took our own spin on Dragon Chess.
Yeah, and hell, how many people can say in their D&D campaign that they have fully playable chess in game? Which,
so,
yeah, we could, by the way, if we wanted to. We could play chess right now on stream.
Picture Cool describes it literally, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh situation where you get sent to a different world to do it.
Yeah. I mean, for those of you in the stream that haven't seen this, I'll go ahead and show you. This is a literal chessboard with chess pieces. Now,
Our guy has his own custom music.
Yeah, we even put music in here specifically for chess. And that is the Arcane Clockworks music, which I'm going to go ahead and stop it. So I have my own background music. And yeah, these are all, there's pawns, there's rooks, there's knights, bishops, king, queen, white, black, all that jazz. And it's all the normal rules of chess. Go ahead. Now, can we do dragon chess in game? No, because I don't have a way to make a 3D board. At least not reasonably.
No. It's also going to make us very sick to work with it.
Yeah, that's more something that you can do in sort of... Yeah, that's more the type of thing to where if you want to do dragon chess, you should just play that separate from D&D.
Or at least have people to fully understand the rules, because I'm pretty sure where it's a case of what do I do now? And then you have to explain further.
Yeah, it's more complicated than chess. If you want a good example of just how silly dragon chess can be, there's actually a game that you can go play on Steam right now called Fifth Dimensional Chess. Go play it, it's fun, but that'll give you an idea of the complexity of dragon chess. It's not as complex as Fifth Dimensional Chess, but it's in the same ballpark. Would you like to... Have you ever heard of Fifth Dimensional Chess, Fox?
Ew. I've heard of it as a concept.
Can I explain Fifth Dimensional Chess?
We have heard of it as a concept, but I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's on Steam. I'll send you a link to the Steam page.
It theoretically can be played as long as you have the right dimensions. Not in this dimension, but in another dimension.
5D chess with multiversal time travel. Here it is. So, I just sent you a link to it. Just that thumbnail image alone gives you kind of an idea of the nonsense of this.
And consider the fact that you're going up.
So the idea is that, okay, how does chess normally work? Well, you move across a 2D board. I will say, by the way, they ignore the third dimension. So it's still just a 2D board. But they do incorporate the fourth and the fifth dimensions. Well, what are those? Well, just as you can move up, down, left, and right, you can move forward or backward through time with a piece. For example, a pawn can only move one forward, either moving up on the board if it's a white piece, or moving one space forward in time is another thing it can do. And what will happen when you move a piece forward through time is it won't appear here, but there will be a duplicate piece at that point forward in time. And it will cause a new branching timeline. And the goal is, in the chess match, to get checkmate on the enemy king. But it doesn't matter at which point in the past or in the future or in the alternate timeline you get. It doesn't matter at which point in the past or in the future you get checkmate. You just need to get checkmate. So you can, like, for example, put a bishop on a future board to checkmate a king from the past. Because you could technically move the bishop all the way to that king in the past. And the king in the past can't move now because it's in the past. However, if they do have a way of dodging in the past and they do move it, then that means they create a new timeline. And the idea is you need to get checkmate in every timeline that currently exists in the game.
Oh.
So this gets tricky extremely quickly. It's a very fun game, though. I don't own it, but I've seen people play it, and it's hilarious to watch people try to wrap their brain around this. This is the type of stuff I love wrapping my brain around, for reference. Also, there's no possible way I could do this in Roll20. There is no possible way I could do this in Roll20. For those of you who haven't tried it on Steam, I really suggest just go buy 5D chess with multiversal time travel. It's only like $12 on stream on the Steam. You won't regret it. It will be a trip. Here, let me go ahead and read the flavor text. It's the first ever chess variant with spatial, temporal, and parallel dimensions. It's 5D chess with multiversal time travel. Move pieces back in time to create branching timelines. Send a rook to a parallel dimension. Protect your kings in the present and the past. Yeah, you can move pieces across dimensions as well. So, like, if you already have checkmate in a certain timeline, but then there's a piece that you want to move to an alternative timeline to help you there, you can do that.
Yeah, I feel like it's already going to be, like, harsh on the fucking Roll20.
Yeah, and then I'm just going to send you a diagram, Fox. Here's an example of possible moves for a queen.
No.
Just look at that nonsense.
I mean, we achieved Ragnarchad's wish of wanting 3 playable chess.
Yeah, we got playable chess for Ragnarchad.
That's what Ragnarchad wanted.
Yes. She wanted it, and so she got it. Yes, enough about me blathering about 5D chess. Let me get back to actual work. Oh, hey, we come across another spell that you made. Have a match. Let me go ahead and read this.
It's fun.
Oh, I'm sure it's fun. I just need to read it to see if because I haven't reviewed this yet. Because I was going to review all the stuff that you made, and then Roll20 was like, "Hey, I'm going to let you finish, but I'm going to screw up all your organization." It's like, aw.
He just became that guy.
He just was that guy.
I like it.
Okay. So, casting time, 1 action, range, self, 30-foot cone. Alright, it's already a little comparable to Clinical, which is 60 feet. Which level is Clinical? I think that's 6th level? Okay. 5th. Okay, so this is another 5th level spell like Clinical. Okay. Wizard, Druid, and Sorcerer, same as Clinical. Version instantaneous. You conjure snow from thin air to push your enemies and freeze them. All creatures in a 30-foot cone must make a strength saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 7d8 cold damage and is pushed 15 feet away from you, and speed reduced by 10 feet for 1 minute. A creature that steep save instead takes half as much damage and is neither pushed nor slowed. In addition, the ground within the cone becomes blanket and thick snow, becoming difficult to wear beforehand. Okay.
Originally thought it was like a souped up version of Cold Cold.
It's a souped up version of Cold Cold, but with less range. Notably, half the range.
I feel like it's a good trade-off. You get half the range, but more effects.
Yes, though I would add 2 things myself. One, I would bump the damage to be as high as Cold Cold, so I'd raise it to 8d8.
Yeah, we definitely didn't work on the. We definitely didn't get this checked out. I just made this in the winter, and I was just like waiting for you to help me out with that one. Trying to call you out on
that. Yeah. And then we also need to add in the at higher levels thing. This thing could be outcasted. Which.
No one can.
Sorry, go ahead.
No one can thank us. It will.
I could just copy the Cone of Cold one, which says at higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot 6th level or higher, the damage increases by 1d8 for each spell slot above 5th. I think that just is fine for Avalanche.
Oh god, now I can just imagine the thing was getting pissed off and all of a sudden casting this.
Yeah. For reference, a fireball does 8d6. So this doing 8d8. But being a 5th level spell and a 3rd level spell does make it do okay damage for its tier.
Oh god, it's 5th level, which means Cathangus could spam it.
Oh yeah, you have access to this. Yes, but then again, you could also spam Conical too, so. Either way, I think it's fine. Yeah, no, I think this is fun.
Yeah. I thought you would not mind it.
No, because basically a shorter range Cold with bonus effect.
There's one that I found that was worse. That was just like, it's a 9th level spell that deals 1d8 damage, but it freezes you. I'm like, freezes you, yes. But it does so low damage.
Right, and Cone of Cold already turns you into a frozen statue to kill you, so. Yeah, it's like, whatever. So, in all, I'm fine with Avalanche as it exists. And I need to put it into here with the exact spelling it has, even though it's misspelled.
Avalanche!
Avalanche. It's okay. Actually, let me go ahead and fix that. So we at least keep it consistent.
To be fair, it wasn't giving me a spelling, and it spelled it, I forgot how, but in, like, Spanish. And I'm like, it's late at night. I don't know how to spell it, so I'm going to get my best approximation of how I spell avalanche.
To be fair, you were correct. You were just off by you didn't put the final E on it. Everything else is correct, though. You were very close.
I was half asleep.
Well, half asleep you is better than I normally am, it seems. Because I'm usually a lot worse at spelling than that, so you did good.
The way I work is like, I rarely get these moments of extreme creativity. I'm like, fuck it, I can't lose this.
What the hell is axiomatic weapon?
No, that's Eberron.
Yeah, it's also crappy. So it says it's
I know
rare...
because I didn't...
Sorry, go ahead.
I know that wasn't from me because I would remember something that, like, weird as fuck name.
Right, it's weird name, but have you even read its effect? Because I'll read it to you now. It's evidently a rare weapon But it says, when an attuned wielder hits a chaotic aligned creature with this weapon, the target takes an extra 1d6 of the damage type of the weapon.
Have that. It's called a Dragon Forged or Dragon Crafted weapon.
And it doesn't care if you're chaotic aligned or not. Like, I'm sorry, this isn't even... Keep in mind, this is a rare item that requires attunement. Do you know it's also a rare item that requires attunement? Flame Tongue, which does 2d6 fire damage extra on everything.
And again, doesn't care about your, like, alignments.
Yes, it does not care about your alignment. So, no. If we added an axiomatic weapon, it would literally be common rarity.
Not just common. Common, like, I feel like it's weird as fuck that it has. I feel like it's a lore reason why it's chaotic aligned.
But why it hates
This
chaos specifically. It's not chaotic aligned, it hates chaotic people.
This has to be some kind of holy weapon. So, I guess the good is the fact that it doesn't have to be attuned.
No, it does, because it says, when an attuned wielder. It doesn't say it requires attunement, but it does talk about how, the person wielding it that is attuned to it.
I'm sorry, I just find it stupid.
I find it very stupid too. But I'm willing to make it common for one specific reason. There is no common weapon that boosts damage in any capacity.
I mean, that just means that a large portion of our party is weak, is going to take extra damage to this.
Right. For reference, the only other common weapon that is popular to use is the moon-touched weapon, and that's literally just a flashlight, and that's it.
I mean, I heard people joke about making it sting, but without the extra damage.
Right. And the only reason why people use the Moonlight Sword or the Moonlight Weapon is because it's technically a magic weapon for overcoming resistances, and that's the only reason why. This at least has a little bit more damage instead of being a flashlight. So I'll go ahead and make it common, and I'm going to make it not require attunement. So, my new version, weapon any, common. When a wielder hits a chaotic aligned creature with this weapon, the target takes an extra 1d6 takes 1d6 extra damage of the weapon's type. There we go. It's common magic item now.
Well, now you don't need attunement.
Nope. No longer requires attunement, because why the fuck did it require attunement in the first place?
Just have to remember to put this in. You know, I'm going to put this in the item list.
You mean the random loot table list? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I was about to say you could do it. Like, wait, why don't I?
Yeah, I'm already doing the reorganizing. I mean, if I'm not being productive, then yeah, I'm welcome those suggestions. But since I'm already doing something productive.
Oh God! By the fact that it's any weapon, there's a chance of you getting an axiomatic Masamune.
Axiomatic Masamune. Axiomatic laser gun.
Axiomatic laser gun, yes!
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like something Tricool would use.
Oh God, no, Tricool. It would not be a Cathangless Bane weapon.
Cathangless is not... Yeah, oh. You mean Cathangless making it.
No, okay. I thought you said Cathangless Bane, as in it's a weapon that specifically does extra damage against Cathangless.
Cathangless is not chaotic, he's lawful.
I know, but imagine if someone made a weapon that was a Bane against specifically you. Not a creature type. No, just specifically you.
I was about to say that would be petty. I'm like, again, with how much Cathegus is learning about how powerful he is, I feel like it's gonna be like a Superman situation. It's just like, this is made specifically to contain you!
Right. And also, to be fair, with how magic items work, the more specific about a condition you are, the more powerful you can make the effect. Because, in this case, you could make the effect very powerful with the item, and it would still be a lower rarity because it only affects one individual in the multiverse.
So I know the lore of Naxiomatic weapons now.
Oh?
It's made by, basically upper planar beings to take care of lower planar beings that are going out of control.
Then, why does it work on chaotic and not evil?
No, not devils, demons.
Okay, so it's specifically meant to fight demons. Got it.
Basically, the lore in it is there's a demon that's trying to become the ultimate lich.
Okay. Fair enough.
I like how I'm looking at the weapons, and there's only 97 common. I always thought there was more, but no, apparently the most weapons in existence is rare.
That makes sense in some way.
Sorry if I'm talking too much.
Dude, I wanted you here so that I have someone to talk to and listen to. Go, keep talking. I enjoy you talking.
Hey, Bag of Holding is back.
Yes. And I'm actually very actively uncomfortable.
You know what's annoying?
What?
I learned just recently that I could just take my character sheet and carry it up without having to, like, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag.
Oh, yeah. I knew that.
I didn't know this, so I was just struggling. I'm like, there is so much stupid handouts and newspapers for no reason!
No! How do you think I move maps around? I just click and drag the map through the entire giant list.
I recently learned how to click and drag, which makes things easier on me.
That reminds me.
I think you even said like, it must have been hard on you. Like, you have no idea.
Right.
It took me 2 hours just to move mine.
Base races. No, I'm deleting that one. Whoa! No, I'm deleting that one. Everything that's everything that's there, we can just access on Wikidot.
Well, no, you can't open a bag and open a bag of holding in the Astrorome and expect the same explosion thing to happen.
So, what rarity is the Ethereum potion again?
Basic. I think that's the thing that they go from common to legendary with basic. It's basically potions of healing that we base this all off on.
I thought we based off of potion mana potion.
Yes, which we all based off of potions of healing as for like to scale them up. I remember you saying this. I remember was the last known type of mana potion, the blue potion, which is an artifact.
Yeah.
That's why I remember legendaries to cap.
That's no enough. One could exist, but you know the reason why it's not made? Because it's likely to end the world if it's ever opened.
What is?
The artifact Ethereum potion.
Once again, give this to Cathangless. You'll only use it when it's like drastic, chaotic story involving moment.
And if you do, it would likely end the story. Like right there. Do you know why?
What's the power of it?
So, you know how the blue potion just fully refills your tank?
Yes.
Imagine turning something that's a full refill, regardless of how much magic you have, and making that Ethereum.
Oh God.
It would literally contain all of the magic. Like, it would contain every single spell in it, including the ones not normal people.
Including Corsus's avatars probably in it!
Yes. Meaning it would quite literally end the world, potentially. It also would contain nonsense like Wish and True Wish, which who knows what the fuck that would do, given the rules of Ethereum.
Huh.
Oh!
There's...
Sorry, go ahead.
This reminds me of that one thing that I almost added in as a homebrew thing, but I stopped myself from even touching because it's just like, huh. There's a wizard subclass that's based off the ancient people that used to cast high magic. Netherites. It's called the Netherite Wizard. It's specifically based on trying to recreate the old spells of yore, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to have that.
I mean, that can be a subclass thing. That's fine, but like, it's going to be a shunned upon practice. If you want that in the campaign, I don't mind. Also, there is one detail that you forgot about mana potions and Ethereum potions.
You smell like blueberries.
That wasn't what I was referring to, but yes. They start at uncommon, not common.
Oh, they start uncommon. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'm just letting you know, because I had to look at the mana potion to see, like, wait, what does it start out? I'm like, it doesn't sound quite right. And yeah, it starts at uncommon.
Oh, right, because there is no such... I think you even said because of how the uniqueness of it is, there's no such thing as a common.
Right. And I told you that if we theoretically made a common, it would refill exactly one spell slot, and that's it. Which is pretty much useless.
Also, I casually like how everyone forgot that Cathangus gave everyone a batch of his potions. Zilgrai included, so he's like, there's nothing I can do, and I was about to say, bitch, you have Dispelling Breath potions that you asked me to give you 27 of!
Right.
There were 7 moments in that one scene where I almost wanted to yell out that you have potions from Cathangus.
Right. Okay. Battle map skill. No, thank you. Something I will definitely do after I get done with all this organization again. Is go through my maps and delete all the ones I don't want.
So I just slowly low-key realized that Clocksworth's name is Clockswise.
Yeah.
Is that always his name?
That's... I don't remember. Also, I think that was originally his name, but we changed it to Clocksworth because, it's a reference to Fallout 4 and Codsworth.
That was my start of realizing that Clocksworth actually is a threat.
Yes. Clocksworth is actually arguably a sleeper threat in the party. Like, he's starting to get to the point where it's a runaway effect, where no one could stop him now. Like Batman. Okay, so on this question. Do I need the battle tactics notes anymore? I don't think I do.
There was only one time where we used it and everyone ignored it, and that was just when I was making battle tactics notes on the Basilisk. And I think Cathangus' brother. And it's just like everyone else, I'm like, you can look at this if you want, and everyone's like, nah. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna look at Cathangus' to see if there's any important information. Oh! Right. That was before I made the everything in Cathangus can do, so that holds his actions, bonus action. I think Cathangus, Shakul, and Raichu. I put things that they're gonna do.
You just did that quicker. I just deleted your bullseye action. Sorry. I stopped with Cathangus. I'm not going to do Raichu, but I clicked too fast. And your bull stuff. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's just everyone uses theirs, and I remember you saying we need to make a separate note for things we can do.
Yeah, if people have an outcry and want it back, I'll make it again. But I mean, if they don't care,
The only one
I
it's
don't
useful
care.
for is me, because and I hate them saying that, but it's true.
Not anymore. People have been using like the treasury section of their character sheet to write this stuff down in.
I keep on forgetting Cathagus has that one wild search thing that makes him change colors.
Yes. And you also have the whole eye thing, where your eyes appear as different colors and different shapes.
No, I've incorporated that.
Yeah. Which, I just like that little note from Inkstand. It's really cute to me.
I like the fact that Cathagus basically kind of has a... He is starting to develop a similar trait as Inksense, where he just gobbles his own ink sometimes.
Yeah. I like to think that if someone asks about it, you say, it tastes like pudding.
It's the pudding!
Magic item. I forgot that this magic item exists. It's actually kind of cool.
Sorry, what is the Beholder's Crown?
It's, imagine if you could have the power of Beholder, but on your head.
Wait.
That's as silly as that sounds, and as broken as that sounds.
Should like that.
Yeah, that's why I said I kind of like this item.
I just didn't put this in because I didn't know this was a thing.
No, this is the real thing. This is a thing from Eberron, and it's official. Oh, because of the recent wizard things, I'm caring less and less about whether or not something's official anymore. You know? Like, with the recent Wizards of the Coast stuff, it's basically been shown that they don't care about their IP much anymore. Or at least, they don't care about the creators within it. What's your opinion on that?
That's true.
Okay. Which reminds me, for whatever reason. Have you ever seen the Overlord anime?
No.
Would you mind at some point if we watched the first season of it together?
Sure.
At least the first season. Season 1 and 2 are the best. Season 3 and beyond I have not watched, and I have not heard great things from it. It's evidently good, but not great, like the first season was. But still, I do want to at least watch the first season, so you get a little bit of an idea of... Well, one, because I want to hang out with a buddy and watch some cool shows. And two, it'll also give you a little bit of an idea of the beast of a character I'm also trying to import.
No, I understand. Also, there's the revitalizer.
Ooh. Yeah. I was like, wait, what's the Basilian furnace? I was like, yeah, no, this is where it is.
Astartes.
It's the Astartes thing, yeah. Alright, time to open up my Astartes project. Also, I like how I completely misspelled Adeptus. It's supposed to be a D there, not an S.
Astartes.
Asiptus. Asiptus Astartes. No one in the campaign currently knows about this thing. I won't make it visible.
The closest one is Cathangus. Even he won't know.
Yeah. This one is actually specifically a Primaris organ.
All right, Cathangos will. I think we talked about this with Cathangos. If time comes and you feel like he's ready for it, you're giving him the wolf one.
The key to healing. Yes. Yeah. And most likely the form of delivery would be via you finding it in a loot box, I'm going to be honest. And then not knowing what it is and bringing it to Finreal and him explaining and saying, would you like me to implant it into you?
Not in the loot box yet.
I know. But that would be the sort of thing to where, while it's not in the loot box, I just take one of the pre-existing roles I don't like and just replace it with that as like a DM.
Oh god! And I just realized Cathangos is one legendary loot box. No!
You'll open it when the time's right.
Jakul literally just looked at me, gave me a look, just like, you did that on purpose that you still have the one loot box that Zokurai threw at you. I still like the sass in that scene. Zokurai threw it at Cathangos going, I don't fucking need it anymore. Cathangos like, fine, I'll take it. It might do me good. It might be something lucky.
Right.
And then it's just gonna be this.
Yeah, it might replace your legendary item in the box, let's just say. In fact, scratch that. I'm pretty sure it will replace your legendary item in the box.
That's what I was about to say. Like, it seems like it would fit for a legendary item.
Yeah.
Or a legendary artifact.
It's not an artifact because it can be reproduced easily. Well, okay, not easily, but like, it can be reproduced readily. Let's put it that way.
Oh, fair. I want to open it, but I don't want to open it yet.
Oh yeah, no, you're not ready, and you can tell you're not ready.
I'm like, I want to open this somewhere within, like, before next session, but, like, maybe not.
Ooh. So I know I'm giving Thorun next time when he enters the Dwarven Ruins.
But
look at the note just below Battle Tactics, note Raikou.
oh, that's the Dwarven Guide! I thought he already had that!
No, specifically, Grognak has the Axe of Dwarvish Lords. But he has the, but I'm going to make him find a dead dwarf with the Belt of Dwarvenkind on it. Or at least just make him find a Belt of Dwarvenkind.
And this is so fitting for him.
Yeah. By the way, do you know what's currently going on in Timeline 2 in terms of, like, what they're going to venture into?
Oh, I was there! They're gonna visit a delirium place!
Yeah! Specifically a refinery explosion. Due to delirium. Now, why the dwarves were using delirium in their forges is still missing.
You know what, Trickle? Fine, I will.
What?
Response is just open it the day before the next session 1.
Well, you could open it in the shadow, the void ocean.
Sure. Not today, but maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, which, actually, why don't you open it, well, yeah. You can do that. That doesn't bring up something for me, though. I just remembered. I'm trying to remember what it is, though. It just slipped out of my mind. Damn it.
Sorry if I'm being annoying.
You're not being annoying.
What the?
Sorry if it seems like I'm annoyed by you.
You're not. And I could tell.
Okay.
I forgot how much notes there were in this. Oh! We know that Cathangos is gonna get the freaking thing from it, and that's gonna cost something.
Also, I'm gonna make one slight change to the belt of Dwarvenkind.
What is it gonna be?
Which says it increases your Constitution score by 2 to a maximum of 20. I'm going to say it increases your Constitution score by 2 to a maximum of 22.
Oh, like the books.
Yeah. So while you're wearing the belts dwarven kind, you could potentially get over your maximum con, which I think is technical.
I mean, it's fitting for a dwarf.
Yeah. Which, if you don't know, by the way, its benefits if you're a dwarf is that your Constitution score is increased by 2 to a maximum of 22. You have advantage on persuasion checks when interacting with other dwarves. And in addition, you have a 50% chance each day at dawn to grow a full beard or grow a larger beard if you already have one. However, it gives you a bunch of benefits if you aren't a dwarf, and those are just the benefits that dwarves get through the racial features. So, dark vision now to a range of 60 feet, the ability to speak, read, or write dwarvish, and advantage on saving throws against poison, as well as resistance to damage resistance to poison damage. All things innate to dwarves. So yeah. God, that was a large amount of dice. I just got rolled.
I don't know why I rolled that.
Oh, were you rolling the loot tables? By the way, there's a bug in Roll20 right now where it clips off the bottom of the chat window.
I noticed that.
I figured out a pretty easy way to temporarily fix it.
Oh God! All of these are. Why is it mostly 4s?
Oh, if you remember, we have a little rule. Count up how many 4s you have.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, so that means 48 of the results will all be the same thing. Remember, we added that rule into the loot table?
Oh my God, that's gonna decrease a lot of it, so yay.
Yeah, it's it would decrease a lot of the headache, unless it rolls like mundane item, as it's saying. It's like, oh, well, 48 mundane items. Fun. But if it's like silver pieces, it's like, oh, cool, you have 480 D4 silver pieces. That's easy to do.
Why didn't you say it?
That's not the official rule. We're not doing this right now. I mean, do you want to do this right now?
No.
Okay. Because if you want to do it on your own, you can. That's fine. But
I think we're gonna plan on doing it if we want to do a side story tomorrow for Cathangless.
if you want to do a side story, that would involve Sortu as well. So you'd have to go check up with him as to whether he can do it. Because you're both in the same location, unless you're saying that you go off on your own, which is not a good idea.
I meant if he opens it in the workshop.
Oh, I was thinking you'd open it in the Void Ocean.
Oh, I feel like because so far Cathangus has made a habit of opening in the workshop because he said, and I quote, "The workshop is safe. It won't kill me."
All right. I actually, I think it would be funnier. I don't know why, but I think it would be funnier if you opened it in the Void Ocean in this particular instance. And Finrio would actually suggest this to Cathangus, that you open this one in the Void Ocean. Now, with that being said, you can pre-roll it so we know what you're going to get, but then when the actual side session rolls around with you and Sortu doing things, you can say, I'm going to open this loot box, and then we already have prepared everything that you opened it in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We already know what his legendary is.
Chaos Healing. Yeah. With that being said,
It's just gonna be a case of Cathangus like, I'm going to sleep. What? I'm going to sleep with this.
yeah. Oh, since we're on the subject, What are you currently?
I'm currently looking through stuff and combing through stuff.
Okay. Did you finish on the Great Worm Patron?
So far, just doing what you first said, which is cleaning up the sentence structure.
Okay. Thank you. If you want to move on to something else, I wouldn't mind if you reviewed some of my work. If you're interested, I'll give you more details.
Curious.
If just like how I'm reviewing your spells and the stuff that you added in, I wouldn't mind if you reviewed, if you just reviewed the Adeptus Authorities program, like just slowly going through that and just giving your opinion on things, what you think of like the lore and the mechanics and stuff. And what do you think of it in terms of D&D? Do you think I did like accurately and whatnot? The way I do with your spells. You know what I mean? Or the things that you
Yeah.
did. What are your thoughts about that?
Like it.
Okay, so yeah, if you want something else to do, you can do review of my stuff, which I'm totally fine.
I think I did this with you.
We looked at the first three, and then you kind of stopped.
No, I did this. I did up to I think the 19th on my own, and then yeah, I did the 19th on my own, and then the other organs I stopped at. Besides the Canis Helix.
So what are your thoughts on the first 19 then, from what you've read?
Very interesting and very accurate. I think I adjusted one of them for you. Not just adjusted without you. I think I gave you advice on one, and I forgot which one it was.
Yeah, I am curious which one.
No, it's one that revolves around madness.
I don't remember which one that is, because I don't think there is one that rolls around madness. Either way, I'm sure I'll notice it if I go through them. As I get to them,
Also reading the Revitalizer now.
yeah, I was about to say.
Interesting.
Did
this-
you read the lore on it too, or just the actual thing?
I'm reading the lore on it right now. What's adrenaline again? That's what it sounds like. Adrenaline mixed with I forgot which gland does hyperfixing on the body.
I don't remember either. And yeah. It pumps you full of combat stims like adrenaline and morphine. I believe some of that I don't remember. Was morphine the one you're trying to think of?
I forgot, but I remember it has the keyword of madness.
Oh, okay. Let me find the other organ flaw here. Just very quickly.
It's the one where it involves sleeping.
I think it's just the oculoba. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, hallucinations over time. That's what it was. Did you like the thing that I mentioned? The time that I listed out based off of the feats shown in Space Marines?
Also, jeez. This furnace activates once, but it pumps you through so much things.
Right. It's one of the few Space Marine things that's like, hey, this is clearly once per day. This is not a you always have this. It's like, no, this is a once per day supercharge. Like, if the Space Marine wasn't so hardy with all the stuff going on in him, this would likely just straight up kill a person. Like, pumping that through a normal person's body would probably kill them. I think you can agree, given your history in biochemical stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. Which, that's the other reason why I wanted you to read these, because you actually have a history in bioengineering, from what I remember. Or what, I forget what your actual field is.
Biology, marine science, but I know bioengineering as a minor.
Okay. Yeah, that. Where is
This just sounds like a dragon. What is the thing? The Great Worm's effect, of which it falls to 0 HP. Nope, I gain back half my hit points, and I am back with a mythic action.
Right, and also if you notice, there is a thing in there, I believe, where it can auto-trigger in certain circumstances. Did you notice that part?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, which I think that's pretty cool.
It's just interesting because you don't because that means you don't have to say, oh, I have to be in charge or else this thing will not go off. It just goes off whenever it feels like it should.
Yeah, which is usually, and I set 3 separate criteria for when that would happen, which I feel are all pretty, pretty valid for why they would go off in that moment.
First one definitely, second one definitely, third one definitely.
Yeah. Also, why can I not find the other 2 organs?
So I'm gonna say something based on the ones above it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to bring them that low that quickly.
Yeah. Huh. I know I wrote entries. Oh. Chimeras. Space Marines. I need to look at what they're...
Wrote the character sheet. Almost wrote the character sheet.
I don't have it written down in the character sheet yet. Sinew Coil, Magnificent, and the Belisarian Cornice. Those are the 3 things I'm looking for.
This also sounds like something a paladin or barbarian.
Yeah, there's sinew coils. Okay. I just wasn't seeing them because I'm blind. Okay, so now I'm going to make sinew coils visible for you. I'm curious what you think of those. And we're saving the other one for last because it's the most complicated. Want to know why?
Why?
It has effects that directly affect the other 19 organs. So it lists each of the 19 organs one at a time with what it does to it.
First thing legit just sounds like a paladin aura.
Yeah.
I can actually see.
Sinew coils, otherwise known as the steel within, which basically further enhances their exoskeleton. Or sorry, endoskeleton, I guess. Not exoskeleton, because it's inside them. Okay, now there is sinew coils in the thing. The other one called...
Primary Space Marine sinews are reinforced with durametallic cables that can contract with incredible force and magnifying the strength, is giving his body another layer of defense. Primus Space Marine can crush a man's skull in his hand. It's flak.
You don't know what flak is?
A flak armor is something I've never heard of.
So, flak armor is basically armor that's meant to help you against. It's supposed to be anti-ballistic for small arms fire. Imperial Guard often use it, and it's basically meant to help you against like 9mm or low caliber pistol rounds, but aren't super effective against assault or against rifle rounds.
Oh, it could do that with. Oh,
Yeah, if you want to repel rifle rounds, you'll need something called a rifle plate, which is basically a steel plate that you attach to your chest. But flak armor is still sufficient to stop like small arm fire or anything that's pistol caliber. So there you go. But yeah, no, this can just kind of do that innately. And then yeah, read what the effects are in D&D that I wrote.
ah! I'm sorry. The first thing I see is just actually impressive. Your crit range has been increased by 5.
Right. I mean, is it not warranted? I already made their strength 30. What more was I going to do to make them stronger?
Strength is 30, and if they get at least a 5, they crit. Oh no. Heck, they crit.
It's if they get at least a 15.
There.
So,
15. Jeez.
but it's not just increased by 5. Keep reading.
Deal an additional 5. What? Deal an additional 5d12 bludgeoning damage on melee-based attacks as hit like a freight train. I could just imagine this as a monk.
A monk space marine. A monk perverts. Dear fucking god, that's terrifying. Especially when you added flurry of blows.
I was about to say, flurry of blows with each blow doing 5d12 extra bludgeoning.
Yes. Just fucking annihilate that. Just like you just box the dragon to death.
Freaking scene of realize.
Yeah.
Hey, you gain resistance to all damage. Again, this includes rage and falling damage.
Yes. However, it covers falling damage in the next bit.
Immunity to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Which, for reference, falling damage is non-magical bludgeoning.
Hey, that means Gathangos already has, I think, either a resistance or immunity to that due to being a werewolf.
Yes. Remember, by the way, this does stack with the other organ that says you take half damage from all sources.
It is half a resistance!
So, he takes 1/4 damage from all sources, except for non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing, which just takes nothing.
So, I was looking over through the sessions. I found out, I was right in one fact. This is the first time, last session was the first time we saw Sortu bleed.
Yeah. And for reference, by the way, this is before we even get, this is just talking about the Marine naked. This is before we even get to the power armor they're wearing, which, you bet your sweet bippy it's going to have the adamantine property of reducing damage. So, you have immunity to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. You're taking quarter damage from all of the sources, and that's at least being reduced by 5.
I'm gonna be fair, these guys always seem like fighters to me, so it makes sense.
Not only are these guys fighters, these guys are made to be impossible to kill, even in universe. In lore, it's stated that even a regular Space Marine. No, keep in mind, I'm talking about regular Space Marines here, let alone Chimerics. But regular Space Marines are said to be equal to 1,000 soldiers. Like a single Space Marine is equal to 1,000 other soldiers. And that most people estimate that a Space Marine could take at least 100 soldiers in a fight and come out of it with few scratches. killing all of them. That gives you an idea of the power these guys are supposed to have. And now that you've read all of these organs, you can kind of see why.
These guys sound like the ultimate anti-spellcaster maneuver.
They're the ultimate super soldier, is what I like to think of them as.
It's like the Captain America thing, but on steroids.
Yeah, this is like the Spartan program from Halo, but on steroids. And we haven't even gotten to their armor, which is, it's made of a combination of adamant. The armor is specifically in, I believe it's made of adamantine and ceramite. Which
Never got to ceramite.
Ceramite is a composite material that they made that it's a little vague as to what it's really made of. Other than the fact that it's a type of ceramic. But it's specifically a ceramic alloyed with metal, which is interesting. Though it's been theorized that it's either tungsten or titanium that's been alloyed with. By the way, they also just straight up say that they have adamantine as part of their armor. So,
They sound like they have adamantine as part of their body!
I mean, when you get to the Primaris with the sinew coils, yeah, they pretty much have adamantine as part of their body at that point.
You could argue that was what the coils are made of!
And keep in mind, this is talking about a naked, unaugmented Space Marine's power. The Space Marine armor gives them about a 4 times strength and movement speed buff.
Know what you're cool, you can't cheese them with a heat metal.
Yeah, because the ceramite specifically makes them immune to temperature. Or at least they can withstand very high heats without issue. Also,
immune to damage.
Before you say they're big and lugging around, it's power armor. It's powered, meaning they don't actually feel the weight of the armor at all. Meaning they're as agile as they are when they're naked.
I was about to bring that up. I'm like, aren't they actually fast as fuck?
They're faster in their armor than when not in their armor. Because the armor also gives them a speed boost. And on top of that, if you want to go even more for spite purposes, they're already a strength of 30. They then can also wear power armor, which gives them a 4 times increase in their strength. And then they can also equip a power fist, which has been confirmed to do over a 10 times increase to their strength. At the risk of breaking their own arm. Keep in mind, breaking a Space Marine's arm, not breaking a human's arm.
I fucking forgot that their first thing that ever gets in them is the resistance to exhaustion.
Yes. They have many methods of just bullshitting things. And these guys are deployed in squads of 10. Yeah, a typical tactical Marine squad is 8 Marines with bolters, one sergeant, and then 1 heavy weapons guy with either a heavy bolter, a missile launcher, a las cannon, or whatever else they feel is fitting for the situation.
Oh right, I forgot about that one. I forgot about the Black Carapace being like... I remember the first and second. I forgot that there's a third thing they could just plug themselves in.
Yeah, which is actually what lets them wield the power armor fully and not be slowed down by it. And you haven't even seen the Magnificant yet, which I will now put into the sheet so you can look at it. You can also
What's the
probably go
difference
find
between
it.
the regular Astartes and the Primaris?
What was that?
What's the difference between the regular Astartes and the Primaris?
So, the regular Space Marines are the ones that have been around for over 10,000 years by this point in the 40k universe. The Primaris are the new iteration of the Astartes with 3 additional organs that the previous ones did not have.
Oh!
The 3 organs that the Primaris gain that the regular Space Marines don't have is the Sinew Coils, the Magnificant, and the Belisarian Furnace. Those are added only to the Primaris. Regular Space Marines don't have those.
That's sure cool.
So basically, they took the 19 organs that you saw above. Those are all Space Marine organs. The ones below that are just Primaris organs. So they looked at the 19 and went, "We could improve this." So yeah.
Cool. They just compared it to Predator.
Predator wishes he was this strong.
In a way, that is a proper way to start discussing them. They're but predators to humans.
A Space Marine is to a Predator as a Predator is to a Space Marine is to a Predator as a Predator is to an ant, in my opinion.
You should just wipe them out.
Yeah, just stomping them under their boot. This is the reason why Space Marines in full power armor, by the way, typically weigh 1 ton.
Isn't the power armor the ton? Or do they themselves weigh the ton?
They themselves weigh about 1,000 pounds, and the power armor tends to double their weight.
Oh god.
Yeah. Which, I want to see a picture of what that looks like, by the way. 30 power armor. Let me get you the classic picture. So, I'm going to send you this in DMs. Here's the classic picture of what a Space Marine looks like in their power armor. And here's a picture of a Space Marine naked, a Space Marine with just the Under Armor, and a Space Marine with full power armor.
Oh god.
Yeah. That Under Armor, by the way, is what connects to their black carapace, and then the powered exoskeleton goes on top of it.
Oh.
And then let me get you a picture of Primaris. Go ahead.
Middle one kind of looks like sinews and a muscular skeleton.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's modeled after. And then here is a Primaris.
Oh. They're bigger.
Yes. For reference, a Space Marine is typically around 10 feet tall, whereas a Primaris is typically, a Space Marine is typically around 12 feet tall, whereas a Primaris is typically around 14 feet tall. Also, I realized that first of the 3 pictures I sent you was actually not a Space Marine, that was a Primaris, and I forgot that was a Primaris. The middle one shows you what a Space Marine normally looks like. Yeah, apologies.
So, yeah, this is the thing I originally wanted to add in. The Netherese Arcanist.
Okay, well, I will look at that. You want me to look at that right now?
No. I just sent that for you to do at your own time.
Cool. I'll go ahead and do that for later then.
Thank you.
Welcome. That one that said at the bottom is official art of an actual Space Marine chapter.
Oh yeah, I've definitely seen them.
Yeah. So you actually have a face to put, like a face and scale to put to this. And keep in mind, that guy is still like 12 feet tall. Though, they can vary. Space Marines can vary anywhere from 8 feet to 12 feet. And Primaris vary anywhere from 12 to 14 feet. So Primaris are more consistently tall. Yes?
What's the 13?
What do you mean by 13?
Look at on the right knee. The Roman numerals for 13 is on the knee.
Oh, That likely means it's either part of the 13th. That means it's either part of the 13th freaking. Not Legion. Chapters are divided into. The chapters are made of 1,000 Marines and are divided into a number of. I think divisions are what they call it. I forget. Either way, that might be a sign that he's in the 13th division or that he was part of the 13th founding. One of the two. I don't know because I don't know more about this specific chapter. There is over 1,000 Space Marine chapters.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So a little bit of context, and this is going to be very brief because 40k lore is super in depth. During the Great Crusade, when the Emperor first made the Primarchs, he later made Space Marine legions based off of the DNA of the Primarchs. The Primarchs are scattered to different planets. He went to reclaim them. I'm not going to explain all that right now. So at first there was just 13 legions of Space Marine. Eventually, after a great heresy happened of a civil war between Space Marine legions, called the Horus Heresy, eventually Gilliman, leader of the Ultramarines, realized that letting any one chapter master have that much power at his fingertips is way too much. So he basically put a mandate out that a lot of people agreed with called the Codex Astartes, which dictated that 1, you are no longer allowed to associate with the Imperial Army or Navy as a space chapter. You have to be self-contained. And 2, you need to divide your legions down into 1,000-man chapters. So you can no longer have like 10,000 plus Space Marines in one combined force. You now have to be divided down into a 1,000-man chapter, and you cannot have more. But you should try to maintain it at 1,000. So at any given time in the Imperium, there's about 1,000 Space Marine chapters, each with about 1,000 Space Marines. And they go around trying to help defend the entirety of the Milky Way galaxy.
Yeah, interesting.
Yes, it's all very interesting. It's very in-depth. I could go for days just explaining all of this. And because I'm a huge 40k nerd, which is why I want to put this in here. Also, I was just spacing out. Instead of putting magnificent, I put magnificent.
Magnificent!
I'll just think about more. I like doing very big deep dives into games. It's part of why I've been liking the videos by Installation00 recently, because he's been doing deep dives into the Halo universe and explaining it in a way that's much more palatable for me, and now I appreciate the Halo universe a lot more than I used to. In particular, because I love the nitty-gritty detail of things. Like, not just, oh, the armor is capable of this, blah, 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 but it's like, no. It's most likely made out of titanium 50, and it with a nano-laminate single crystal array composite and all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, cool. The really nitty-gritty details. I like those. Part of why I became a DM.
Yeah.
Okay. With all that being said, enough distractions. I put the Magnificent in here.
Oh, jeez.
No. That was my own fault. I went off on a tangent, and you know me in tangents. When I go down the tangent, I finish the tangent and come back.
To be fair, Sam, also time to read the... Oh!
Yeah, I mentioned there's a lot here. Read the lore first. I'll warn you.
Small thumbnail size... thumbnail, yeah. Thumbnail-sized lobe is located in the brain's cortex. Magnificent secretes hormones that increase the body's growth functions, which also intensifying the function of its other transhuman implants. Actually, those are the biscopia osmedulla. So, Primarians Astrates are even taller by Hair and foot, which is 31 meters.
0.31 meters.
0.31 meters. Got it.
Yeah.
Basically stronger than the first volcanic. Magnificent is but half the truth. The dual valve gland, Immortus gland, the so-called Godmaker, Emperor created for his Primarchs.
Yeah.
However,
Archmago's call.
Only find material and the genetic blueprints to build the dextropic globe. Right half of the Mortis gland. Plans for the
Centaurus.
The left half, but complete the original super organ, and had been wholly eradicated from the Imperial records of the Primate Project. Whenever this was done by the Emperor's own hand, whether this is done by the Emperor's own hand, by some nefarious source, all cannot tell.
Yeah. So this takes them one step closer to becoming like the Primarchs that they were based off of. Which kind of then begins to explain why it does so many things. So,
basically,
go ahead.
Once implanted, it provides the following benefits. The prerequisites of the
So yeah, each of these things corresponds to different implants. These benefits only function if you have the other implant in you. So keep in mind, these 19 benefits, you only get them if you have the other prerequisite implant.
Enhance, giving you proficiency with all stealth, strength, dex, or con-based skill checks, saving throws, double proficiency in them.
Yes.
Always have advantage on strength, dex, and con-based skill checks. Size to triple instead of double, granting an extra 500 pounds. Hit points maximized by amount equal to 20 times your level. Jesus!
Take these slowly. Your brain is gonna have to process.
My brain is braining. Hold on.
Yeah, just process the first two first before you get to the rest.
Okay, so you have an advantage. You have proficiency, strength, dex, and con. Skill checks and saving throws, and you have double proficiency with strength, dex, and con skill checks and saving throws, and then you have an advantage on strength, dex checks, dex, and con checks.
On checks specifically, not saving throws as well. The reason why you don't have on saving throws as well is because the regular secondary heart already gives you advantage on saving throws.
The second one causes... Okay, first thing is your size triples. You gain extra 500. Whoa! I missed that first part. I thought it said 500 pounds.
Not extra 500 pounds, extra 500 hit points.
So you start out with extra 500 hit points.
Which, keep in mind, the Osmodula already gives you 500 hit points. Now this gives you 500 more hit points.
You start with 1,000.
You start with 1,000 extra hit points, and you basically get 10 instances of the tough feat.
Per level.
Yep. It works like the tough feat does. That means that regardless of your stat block, you're starting with 1,000 extra hit points on Team Primaris, regardless of what your starting stat block was.
Sure, cool. That would actually make a terrifying wizard base if you have this at level 1.
Right. Though if you're a Space Marine, you more likely had a fighter start or a barbarian start, given their training.
Oh god, no, the barbarian stat block with this would be terrifying.
Yeah. Imagine this on a Battlemaster fighter.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you fully processed those two? Because I think you're going to have to take these two at a time with how much mentally processed.
Because I thought they were so tiny it wouldn't be that surprising. No, there's a lot of information crammed in these little paragraphs.
It's about as dense as 40k lore is itself.
The third one, it enhances the Biscopia. 30 in strength, dex, and con!
Yes.
They cannot be reduced!
Yes.
These things are these guys hit like a truck, are hard to hit and really, really healthy. Got it.
Right. And keep in mind what I mentioned about power armor before, where it says you're just as mobile as when you're unarmored, meaning you probably get to add your full dex under your AC.
What kind do you want to think about these guys' AC?
Their AC is going to be dumb. AC? Yes.
That's cool. This is not in the hundreds at least.
Oh, man, I'm probably not that high, but like, you're probably halfway there. It's probably going to be 50 or something. Anywho, that one was a little easier to process, despite being, strength 30, dex 30, con 30. Which, by the way, I'll point out, con 30 does increase the amount of health you have, too.
It does. That's why I said they're healthy. Because not only does it increase their health as well, it decreases the chance of them getting sick.
Yeah, and remember that all three of these are now at 30, with double proficiency, with advantage, on skills and saving throws.
That's why I had to process that for a second. Like, how can these guys ever get sick or hit?
They don't, especially considering they have other organs that specifically make it so that they have resistances against illness and process illness. Like the fact that
Jakul even responded with that. It's just like, yeah, sure they might get a level of exhaustion. Try for them to roll badly with a level of exhaustion.
Right. Yeah, and then we get to number 4.
Thing I can't pronounce.
The Heimastamen. I believe it's German.
Allows you to survive without oxygen 10 times longer than usual.
So, the amount of time that you can survive without oxygen in D&D is directly corresponding to your constitution stat.
So then remember, it's already like 300?
So specifically, well, it's not directly corresponding. So here, it's at 30. So how it normally works is that if you have at least a constitution of 10, you can survive a number of minutes equal to your ability modifier to a minimum of 30 seconds. So, if you have a +1 in con, that means you can survive for 1 minute. If you have a +30 in con, that means you can survive for 10 minutes. Even if you have like a 5 in con, though, you can still survive underwater for 30 seconds. And keep in mind, by the way, this isn't talking about water because they already have water breathing. This is specifically about if they're stranded in space. They can survive that long without oxygen.
You know the craziest thing I'm reading here?
What?
You're telling me they could be worse. You're telling me they could be more powerful? Like this is them with like half their full power?
Yeah, Primarchs were even more busted than this. Because Primarchs also got unique traits to each of them, including things like one of the Primarchs straight up has immortality.
Okay, that is more busted.
Yeah, so the Salamander's Primarch, he has what's called a perpetual. He is a perpetual, which, to explain 40k lore, a perpetual is someone that when they fully die, they're miraculously brought back within 24 hours. As they surge back to life, being unwilling to die yet. And pretty much healing all of their injuries, no matter how grievous they were. As long as a single atom of their body remains, they can come back, basically. That's what a perpetual is. And that's just one of the quirks done by the Primarch. There's also other things like Magnar the Red, who his quirk was he was basically naturally gifted with magic to the point of absurdity. Like,
All of these sound like they were gifted to absurdity.
imagine, for reference, Magnus the Red, if he, like, imagine, for example, as a baby that, like, he was so skilled in magic that he wasn't just a sorcerer. He basically had the aptitude to become level 20 in every magic class within the span of, like, 5 years. And it was all easy for him, except for Artificer. Artificer is a Salamander's thing, because he's known as the Forge. Yeah. But still. The point is, there's a lot of things like that. The Lion Fang one, Lemon Russ, which is the leader of the Space Wolf faction, that also has the Canis Helix. Yeah, he had all of those wolf traits, including incredibly good eyesight, incredibly good hearing, incredibly good smell. Basically all the abilities you could think of a werewolf, but just cracked out of hell.
So what the thing is going to be eventually? No!
And the Canis Helix is derived off of those beneficial effects of him turned into an organ that you can implant someone else. Granted, it's a lot worse than his, but they are his. Another one was the fact that Fulgrim, his other section of the Immortus clan, made him beautiful to the point that there was not a single person who could not think of him as beautiful. Like, he was universally regarded, irregardless of race, as beautiful.
Well,
like, even if you're like from a completely different species, like Eldar or Necron or whatever, you would still see him as that. That's like some of the silliness that we're getting here with like the Primarchs. There's a reason why I'm not even going to fucking touch the Primarchs. Primarchs would be more equivalent to like minor deities in D&D in terms of ability, but they were mortal people. And keep in mind, the Emperor of Man is more ridiculous than all the Primarchs put together. And you begin to see how crazy 40k gets. A lot of things in 40k are over the top, and that's part of the point. In the grim dark fantasy of the book Dark Future, there's only one. Anyway, sorry. I went off on a whole nerdy tangent.
it's okay, I was interested.
We're on to number 5.
Aries organ.
Larriman's organ.
Aries organ.
Larry. Okay.
Regeneration.
Would you like to read
Equal
out
to
loud?
1. It enhances the layman's organ. Larriman's organ. And your passive regeneration at the start of each of your turns. Or you regain hit point equal to 1. Oh no! As well as gain the equivalent of. Oh no!
Fun fact, this doesn't care if you're at 0.
Welcome to what I talked about with the other thing. I'm like, they probably have more BS that's like, I can't die. And there it is.
Keep in mind, this is all of this stuff that you read so far is specific to Primaris, not just regular Space Marines. But still.
They basically gain at least 100 HP and 10 HP per turn.
Yes. Just a passive regen.
God,
Wait.
this is now going to.
Space Marines are often noted that their armor breaks before they do.
Just now thinking back to the conversation Cathang was had with Kayana in private, and him responding, "What exactly am I?" And her going, "You're a human."
Yeah.
She actually had to actively think about it. Like, I don't like the pause. I do not like the pause.
Anywho, number 6.
Oh yeah, this one I liked. The capitalism node. Yes, I will forever call it that. Allowing you no longer to sleep and to tax people more.
Yes.
Instead of giving you the benefits of long rest. Oh, wait! Instead, giving you the benefits of long rest after only 1 hour of light activity on top of the benefits provided by the organ.
Yes, so now you no longer even need rest.
I mean, that makes sense considering the fact that they operate like that.
Yeah, and considering this is supposed to enhance the effect, and the effect is already kind of cracked, let's just make it more cracked. Meaning, if you have a caster who is also a space marine, they get back all their spells after only 1 hour of light activity.
Oh god, I can just imagine when I was trying to fight them and they just punch us into the ground.
Also, if you look back at a different thing, the Revitalizer, I believe it says right here, you are in a moment's stress. The effect lasts for 1 minute, and once triggered, this effect takes 24 hours. Okay, so it says it takes 24 hours, not a long rest. Here's the reason why. And I made it be a time thing, not a long rest thing, because this is why. Because you could abuse it otherwise if you could do it with this.
It's basically the freaking God Dragon Soul thing.
Yeah. Draconis Purism Fundamental.
Basically be the power of that, just in everyone.
Except this is not nearly as cracked as Draconis Purism Fundamental is. Anywho, we've only gotten through 6 of them. Let's go for number 7.
Enhances the Primnor, allowing you to digest and integrate a wider variety of materials and properties into your body permanently. I thought it said you can already eat anything.
You can eat anything, but you can only incorporate the properties temporarily or of certain things. This allows you to do them permanently. They could, for example, eat adamantine and gain the properties of adamantine permanently. Or eat,
God.
or like eat chlorophyte and then gain the properties of chlorophyte.
I'm glad that we don't have to fight them.
Alright, and keep in mind, by the way, all of this is being done without magic. This is all evidently bioengineering purely, not magical.
It enhances the Omnamnaka Thirera.
Homophagia. But yes, it's a hard to pronounce.
Yeah.
I like yours better.
Giving you-
Omnamnaka.
Giving you many more Oh no. Giving you many more memories, abilities, skills, experiences, and proficiencies than the
Homophagia.
that word normally provide again at the DM's discretion.
So if you remember, the homophagia is a thing where it says you can eat material from a fallen soldier or victim or whatever and regain some of their memories and skills and abilities up to the DM's discretion. This basically just says, hey, you gain a lot more of those now. Because before it was like you only gained their recent memories and recent recollections of things. This, you were more likely to gain like their whole lifetime or something.
Oh god.
Yeah. Also, I like how in number 9 I completely misspelled multi-lung. Multi-lung.
I was about to say, I feel like that should be multi-lung, not multi-lund.
I don't know what the fuck a lung is. It's supposed to be multi-lung. Oh.
It got so advanced that they forgot the G and turned it into a D.
Hey, you wanted the D, what can I say?
Can now recycle carbon dioxide when allowing you to go for extended periods without actually needing to breathe. Again, this once again stacks with
Previous one. Yeah.
Number 4.
Keep reading.
The amount of time you can go without breathing is extended by 10 times. Wait, that also counting the 10 times longer than usual.
Yes, it just says, which stacks the Hamastin if also present.
Oh. Did I not see that?
I don't know. So, this means that they can go 100 times longer than a normal person, which I believe the Jameson already does 2 times. So that's 200 times longer. So for reference, if a normal person with 30 con could go 10 minutes, these guys can go 300 minutes, or otherwise known as 5 hours without needing to take a breath.
Then you forget that this is not a normal person. You have to then make the thing a 10, and then go off that as well.
No, that's what I meant. I said a normal person with a con of 30. As a non-spaceman with a con of 30. I was already incorporating that.
Cool.
So,
again, Cathanius doesn't need to breathe.
I know you don't need to breathe. These people technically need to breathe, but they only need to take a breath once every 5 hours, I guess. But this is useful for various circumstances, yep?
I can just imagine that it works the same above air as it does, like, the space as it does underwater. It's the same effect then.
Yeah, and remember, they already have underwater breathing capabilities, because their body has the ability to take the oxygen out of water and then filter out the other oxygen. Filter out the...
Right.
Yeah, because they can filter out the salt out of the water and then also filter out the oxygen out of the water.
Forgot that the space is much more dangerous because there's no possible liquid.
And there's also no pressure in... Well, if we're talking normal space, which is what 40K usually works off of, there's also no pressure there, which is also causes issues. But Space Marines are tough enough that they've actually been able to survive for a few hours in space with no clothing or armor or anything. Granted...
Sorry, I'm seeing number 10.
Yeah, read number 10.
I'm seeing it enhances the oculobe, giving you blind sight up to 1 mile!
Yes!
How far is a mile?
5,240 feet.
Well, these guys could just see that Oh!
For reference, a mile is also about the range of a 50 caliber sniper rifle in the real world. They have a maximum effective range of about 1 mile.
So these guys also could see in the... They do a blind... Wait, they have blind sight for that. I forgot how big their regular vision is.
Their regular vision is already better than an Eagle's, and an Eagle's regular vision can see up to 2 miles away with as much clarity as if you were 100 feet away from it. So, they have regular vision beyond that point, up to 1 mile of just blind sight.
Oh, 11 is, it enhances the layman's ear.
Remember, by the way, blind sight also lets you see invisible creatures. So, that's important.
All right.
Yeah, now continue to 11.
Alright.
It's fine.
Enhances the layman's ear, giving you immunity to thunder damage. Makes sense, because I think the previous one was resistance.
Yes.
And ability to hear something up to 10 miles away, the same clarity as a position if they were 10 feet away from you.
Yeah. And it's mentioned in the lineman's ear, but not here. But the lineman's ear can filter out certain noises in response to incoming stimuli. So, for example, you can filter out background conversations to listen to a specific conversation in the middle of a party.
Okay, good. That was about to be my question.
Yeah, so unlike a hearing aid, you can choose to have certain things become quieter or just not hear them at all, which is often used by Space Marines when they're fighting enemies who use sound-based weapons, aka thunder damage-based weapons. Their ears automatically respond and usually filter out the sound before it causes irreparable damage. Which is really fucking cool.
Oh, it enhances the Susan membrane.
Yes.
Allowing you to enter the suspended animation state as a single action instead of 1 minute.
Why don't you go read the Susan membrane again so you can refresh yourself of what that does? because that's actually a really important organ for a couple of reasons.
So called the hibernators, the 12th gene seed organ, initially implanted with a neoplate cranium. This membrane eventually merges the recipient cerebellum.
Cerebrum, yeah.
Cerebrum, becoming a full part of the neural architecture.
I'm sorry, 40K is very eloquent and wordy with how they word things.
Organs function.
That's just a straight copy from the wiki, is all I was going to say.
Organs functions are ineffective without follow-up chemical theory training by chapters
Apothecaries.
I don't know why I'm not able to read today.
It's okay.
With a sufficient
Take it slow.
dish and instruction of Space Marine implant and enter state of suspended animation
Consciously.
as an automatic reaction to extreme trauma. Being the Space Marine arrive 10 years, even if he has suffered otherwise mortal wounds. Only the appropriate chemical therapy or hypnotic autosuggestion can revive a Space Marine with a state. The longest recorded period spent in a suspended animation was undertaken by Battle Brother Silas the Dark Angels chapter, who was revived after 567 standard years as Susan hibernation.
Yeah. So if you ever do get to the point where you're going to kill one of them, and it happens too fast, they could just go into suspended animation.
You can, after proper training from a professional, enter a state of suspended animation. You effectively enter a state of self-induced purification. Your body does not turn into an inorganic material like stone. Suspended animation is initiated normal over the course of a minute, but also triggers automatically when you fail your last death saving throw. Instead stopping that failure, forcing you into suspended animation. It can only be brought out by a suspended animation by another creature performing the correct neurological triggers and hypnotherapy. By having a greater restoration cost upon you, normal cures of petrification do not work. Got it. That one potion that Kathangus made will not work.
Yes. So, with this being known, now instead of taking a minute to go into that, you can do it in one action. If you're from Earth.
They already have that freaking overpowered thingy.
Oh yeah, they're very overpowered. But as I said when I started the starting project, I'm not caring about balance here. I wanted to make them more accurate.
They already have the furnace, which would actually freaking... Oh no.
Yes. Alright, now that you've read about the Susan membrane, would you like to take a small break before you continue to number 13, or do you just want to hop into it?
Hop into it.
Okay, 13 it is. By the way, that one is pronounced melanchrome. It has to do with the melanoma in your skin. Melanoma in your skin.
Actually, melanin.
Melanin. Yeah, the melanin in your skin.
Melanoma is the disease where you have none.
Yeah. Okay.
It enhances the melanchrome, giving you advantage on stealth checks relying on not being seen. Your skin can change color to camouflage itself into the background. So this is negated by wearing armor or clothing that covers 50% of your body or more. You gain immunity to radiant damage. That seems like a weird tacked on.
Because it's supposed to also make you immune to UV rays. And if it's making you immune to sunlight, I'm like, what can I do in D&D for that? Oh, radiant damage. Light damage. So that's why I tacked it on there. Because I was like, in theory, if your skin can change color at any point, And you might say, what about resistance to radiant damage? I say, sinew coils already give you resistance to radiant damage.
So I have... What? Isn't the armor it's wearing?
The
affect
power
this, or
armor
no?
it's wearing does negate that benefit, yes.
Got it.
Yeah, it doesn't negate the radiant damage part, but it does negate the camouflage part.
Just making sure.
This is why you see Space Marines of various skin tones, by the way, because the skin tones are informed by the environments they usually are in, rather than what their skin tone was before they became Space Marine. So, that's a fun little thing. AKA
Enhances.
AKA Space Marines are not racist against other humans.
Again, there is no need for racism. Even Catholic has no need for racism. There's times where he's seen Thor act the way he does, and he just tilts his head to like.
Now, to be fair, Space Marines are known to be racist against other Xenos races in the galaxy, but that's because the Imperium has indoctrinated them to be that way.
That's one of my favorite moments where Thor is just like making fun of Catholic for being an elf. His response is like cocking his head and just like, what?
It's like those people that say you're cute and leave, and you're just like, thank you.
Cathagos has had the same exact response with freaking Rihanna has called him cute. He's like, what does that mean?
That's like the most trolly answer to that ever.
That's true. Cathagos is basically an alien when it comes to being made fun of. And no, it's not because of his parents. They've tried to make him understand.
You call him alien, I just call him troll again.
Oh god, it enhances the Can't pronounce that without laughing. Giving it immunity to all poison and acid damage. Oh.
The oolitic kidney, yes. So, let's rack up the immunities they have. They have immunity to thunder damage. They have immunity to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. They have immunity to radiant. And now they have immunity to poison and acid.
And diseases, and the poison condition, and the petrified condition.
Yes.
Also, you can argue have immunity to the blinded condition because of blind sight.
That's covered by the oculobe, which are the eyes. They already give you immunity to blind condition. Just like the lineman's ear already gives you immunity to the deafened condition.
There's no way to physically harm these unless you're full on using magic.
Or you're just overpowering them somehow. Like, you're just hitting them for truckloads of damage. That's about the only way to really deal with these guys. Like, Meteor Swarm to the face is barely enough with these guys.
Cool's right, you need to upcast Meteor Swarm somehow past even 12th level to even tickle them.
You need to pull a Madara where you cast Meteor Swarm and stack all 4 meteors on top of one of these guys. And it might knock them down by half HP
Oh
if you're
god.
lucky.
That was the joke that your cool joked about how you just will eventually at the end of the campaign go, I cast Meteor Swarm at 20th level!
No such thing. What the hell? I will say in my campaign, there is a hard cap at 12th level in terms of spells. You can't physically cast a spell beyond 12th level. Like,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Did the Netherese even have like a sentence about that saying like, weave gets unstable at the 12th level?
At 12th level, you're already using most of the weave to cast the spell. Because of how the Netherese do it, which reminds me, I want to talk to you about Elven High Magic, because it operates very differently from how Spellblock do.
I forgot that Cathagnus technically can guarantee from that, because I forgot he has Trance.
you technically have the ability to learn Elven High Magic, which would give you a whole new flavor of busting.
Forgot, and Cthulhu was this at the time. Us.
You have the time,
Oh!
and you have the credentials because you're royalty.
Yeah, I think Jakul even joked about it the most. Cthulhu is a royalty among royalty, and we do not know why, and that's what scares me.
Yes. Okay. With that being said, please.
Yeah, we can talk about it more later.
Yeah.
Then you also wait, toxins. When it says immunity to toxins, what differs that from poisons?
Very little. Mostly just technicalities instances. In D&D,
Okay.
nothing. But in real life, there is technical differences between the two.
No, that's why I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, in D&D, there is no functional difference, but since there is a real-life difference between the two, I thought I should list it.
Also, why petrified?
Petrification is basically similar to a degenerate disease in that it transmutes your body. And there's lore in 40k that they have, because of all of these things, basically, because of all of these different effects, they have resistance against things trying to change their body. And this enhances that. So they should straight up have immunity to things trying to change their body. Which, in this case, I would count petrification as that, because it's trying to turn the body
Fair.
to stone. And they actually say, specifically in the lore, there's an effect that tried to turn a space marine to stone, but couldn't.
Okay, I was just making sure, because I was about to say they should have immunity to stun condition, but no, that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, actually stun is one of the few things they are not immune to. They are resistant, but they are not immune.
God, their ultimate enemies are monks.
And what are they best at? Being monks. Like, I still think the ultimate Space Marine class in D&D would be monk, just in terms of...
That's what I said. That's legit what I said. Like, just make one a monk, or monk barbarian or something, and there you go.
I'd rather do monk fighter. That way I have, 4 attacks with my regular attack. Action surge. 4 more attacks with my regular attack. And then flurry of blows with my bonus action.
You just freaking take out someone easily.
So what's 10 times 5d12 plus whatever my fists are actually doing in damage? Yeah, no. There's a reason why they talk about the fact that Primaris can casually crush a human skull. And Space Marines have been known to pick up and throw cards. Like,
So on average, that's 320, and then you add in the monk.
well, you actually did math. Cool. I'm proud of you.
That was on average just 320, and then you add in the monk stuff.
Now, here's a question. How much damage would that do against another Space Marine? Assuming it was magical damage, so they're not immune to it. You quarter it, is how you figure that out.
A quarter of the actual damage actually go through. 200.
A quarter of 300 and something? What was the average?
No. 350.
Okay, so
And then
for
you add monk
350, you would multiply that by 0.25. And that's how you get a quarter of it.
You're just casually dealing 87.
So if you deal 87 damage to another Space Marine, which that Space Marine, assuming it was a Primaris, that Space Marine would then regen how much HP on its next turn?
100.
So,
At least.
Space Marines can casually go full force boxing each other and be fine. While naked. Where they won't even end up killing each other.
It's the literal joke of Goku and Vegeta fighting each other.
Basically, yeah. It's like we were making Space Marines, but somehow they turned out to have a bit of Saiyan in them.
I was saying though, just like you could have them basically fight each other. They're okay. The planet around them isn't.
Right. Alright, so also, by the way, remember all the stuff they mentioned about immunity to poison, acid, disease, toxins, petrification, poison, all that sort of stuff? Yeah. Remember, all of that gets filtered into the Betcher's glands, which they can then use to spit into opponents' faces. Any poison that they ingest, or toxin, or disease, or whatnot, they can then put into their actual poisonous spit that they can then spit on their enemies. Including things like worm poison. And stone
neurogolitis.
Sorry, go ahead.
Neurogolitis enhancement, which just sounds like a disease on itself.
Yeah. It enhances neurogolitis.
Oh yeah, this is the one that allows you to cook.
It's the one that allows you to what?
Cook.
Cook. Oh, right. That's not what I first said. I first heard a different four-letter word.
Oh, ah!
Anyway, yes. That's part of why I kept joking about them being really great chefs.
Swipe checks involving tracking a target by smell.
A substance.
Identifying a substance by smell or taste. Air check involving cooks utensils on top of the plus 20 of varieties. The best chefs in the universe are murderers!
So you have plus 40 to your cooking check. Then we get to the mucinoid.
What?
For that, to know why that's busted, you should probably look back at the original mucinoid to see what that's referring to. Unless you remember.
Isn't the mucinoid? Yeah, it is. Mucinoid is a certain chemical treatment done over the course of a minute. Yeah, it's the mucus!
Yeah. The thing that lets them seal themselves off from the vacuum of space in the universe.
Sure, cool. They're basically water bears.
Yeah. That could have been what they based this ability off of, is the water bear thing.
You can find water bears anywhere, even in the depths of space.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense why they base this off the water bear for their powers, because they're the most durable motherfuckers in the universe.
Yep. We're almost done. We just have the Betcher's gland, the progenoid glands, and the black carapace to go.
Betcher's gland, allowing you to combine the effects of multiple poisons and acids
at once.
Allowing you to use all of that at the same time. Your DM on a case-to-case basis on how this would actually apply.
Yeah, I had that little caveat in.
It doesn't have an effect on the progenoid glands, other than making them more pure and less prone to mutation.
Which, if you remember, those are the gene seed organs. Those are the ones that let you get gene seed after 5 or 10 years. And thus allow you to reproduce these organs in a proper process. Because it's the only way that they can reproduce, quote unquote.
It makes sense why it's more pure, because odds are you're making more the Primaris specifically.
Right, which for reference, a normal Space Marine's purity on their gene seed is around an average of 98%. But a Primaris' gene seed has an average purity of 99.9%, which is considerably better. And then the final one is just kind of, I'm throwing it here because I need to.
You already you say it's it allows you to pilot their armor without any downsides.
Which is the vastly improved version of the regular Space Marine Power Armor. And the regular Space Marine Power Armor is already jacked. I haven't written stats for the Space Marine Power Armor yet. I will get there.
I mean, the only thing you can catch these guys is their low other stats, like charisma, which I assume that they would have rather high of even then.
This does not affect their mental stats. You are correct. None of this stuff affects their mental stats.
I feel like you can stand against them. Like, that's the only way to fight back is using their low mental stats against them.
Right, which even then, it's important to know that if you're getting all these implants into you, then when you get ASI upgrades on class level, you're likely dumping those ASI upgrades in your mental stats. But they're still limited to 20. Because it's not like you have the one epic boon that lets you bring them up to 30, so they're still at a max of 20. That's still fun.
I then agree. These guys are actually terrifying. Thank goodness that they don't leave their home.
Thank goodness that they are in a different dimension. And thank goodness no one in the actual campaign has found even one of these organs, let alone a full set. Hint, hint.
We joke about how Cathangus is going to find the first one, but that's going to lead to an actual question of how he found the first one.
Which we already established would be in his legendary loot box, which, why don't you go look at that now? That's the one we haven't covered, the Canis Helix. For the chat, I mean. I know you've already read it.
Okay. Don't crash. Fine, I'll reload it again. It was being a bit thing like, you need to reload. Okay, reload. It needs to reload again.
Like, okay, fine, reload again.
So, hi, Cheetos.
Yes, hello, Jados. Also, Thorun is in the chat. He's just kind of vibing and watching us do our thing. News. I'll keep this. I'll keep Blue's note file in case he ever wants to come back. Though I have a theory that he won't.
I don't know why, though.
His reason evidently is because he couldn't keep up with the story and the narrative. And he's too busy doing other things.
Like I said, he freaking is pulling himself in 20 different directions. I think this is a good time for him to just get his own direction.
Yes. And if he ever wants to come back, he may. I also offered him, if he wants to come back in a small way, I offered to let him be his own self-insert character that shows up in Figure's Workshop on occasion. And he is currently thinking about it, as that way he would play a much smaller role in the campaign, and he could be more of himself rather than Hoonery. Where he would actually be Arzadu, you know, the astral dragon that hangs out with Infinite.
So actually give more interaction between him and Cathangus.
Right, that's the other reason why. It's because Cathangus is getting into astral stuff, and we actually have rules for astral dragons now. So
I put in the fact that I officially researched it. Yeah, they're best friends with Moonstones. Cathangus is trying to...
I didn't mean to.
I think I told you this. The only other astral dragon Cathangus met before this was a friend of his dad's, who then stopped coming after a while. I told you this, didn't I?
Yeah. Question. What rarity is Bomb Arrow?
We put it at the same rarity as bombs, I think.
So
I think we either made it mundane or common or uncommon.
uncommon? I believe it's uncommon.
Hold on. I actually wrote it down. So I'm good on that. I actually wrote it down in one of the to comb through one of the 3 lists.
I think I bumped the rarity up by 1, just like I did with water bombs. Also, I like how the first line is, you literally strap a bomb onto the end of an arrow.
Common.
Okay, thank you. But yeah, I said he could just be an ancient astral dragon if you want to. And that would fit perfectly in my campaign. And he said, you will think about it. But yeah, I don't want to rush him or anything.
This helix, sometimes called the spirit of the wolf. Unique is a term for a unique mutation of the gene seed received by the neurophytes, the space wolves of the Space Wolves chapter. In addition to the normal gene seed organ implants that were created using the genome of their Primarch Lumen Russ.
Primarch Lemon Russ.
Lemon, man.
Yes, lemon, as in the fruit. I think it's the fruit. As in lemonade.
Primarch Lemon Grab.
For lemon grab. Unacceptable! I think that's that character.
Yes! Also serves as genetic catalyst that initiates the metabolic process and transformation of a mortal man into a superhuman Astartes. Astartes. I was close.
Yes.
The inherent instability of the genetic material will cause the Astartes of the Space Wolves to develop their own wolf-like qualities. Chief among them, an extremely consensus smell, elongated canine fangs, which is their most identifiable physical feature. This helix also causes the Space Wolves to grow unstable amounts of body hair throughout their lives. And some individuals can cause their rapid generation to feral mutants known as the Wolfen. Canis Helix, once implanted, provides the following benefits. 1. You gain immunity to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. 2. You gain a plus 20 all checks involving smell. 3. You gain a bite attack. This is gonna be fucking terrifying with Cathanglus, of all people, due to his Aetherium body.
Yes.
Attack is a melee attack that uses your strength modifier. Right, and he now has the belt on him. Does a 2d12 piercing damage on it. I forgot about this. They have a bite attack. The attack becomes enhanced, which manifests adding a 2d12 piercing damage to it. I don't want to think about a dragon having this bite attack.
Alright.
Oh.
You're seeing the pictures and dropping in your DMs.
I'm seeing them!
So.
There's attacks in here saying, wait, they count as magical. That's one thing I also missed.
Yeah.
That's the one other thing that confused me, the number 4. I mean, his attack sounds non-magical for overcoming resistance. You gain a claw attack. All of the rules that apply for a bite attack apply to your new claw attack. But it's only 1d12, and you have 1 on each hand.
So, what that means is that you have a claw attack that does 1d12. If you already have a claw attack, then your claw attack gets an additional 1d12 damage. And you saying you have 1 on each hand means that you can dual wield your claw attack.
Okay, I took it almost literal, and you have 1 claw on each hand!
No. I was implying that you can dual wield. So, for reference, those 4 images that I sent you are Lemon Russ himself, the Great Wolf. This is a picture of a Lemon Russ Space Marine. A Space Wolf Space Marine. And then here's a picture of what a wolfen looks like. So you get an idea of what you potentially turn into if you become full werewolf with Space Marine stuff.
Oh god, that's... Wait, that's what the thing does look like?
That's a wolfen. that is a full wolfen.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of like it.
It is savage feralness incarnate, yes.
Which is what I originally meant for Cathangus at first. It's going back to that original concept.
And here's some darker official artwork of them. Yes, this is official artwork.
Sorry, I cannot look at this without seeing Castlevania.
Yeah, that's what he will become.
At least Cathangus has somewhat control, which goes back to what I was about to put in. If you contract the lycanthropy curse, having this organ implemented, lycanthropy curse fuses with the Calyx helix, turning you into a total mutant known as a wolfen of a normal were creature. If this is gained, the curse of the Lycan Bloodhunter subclass, or if there's someone who can already control their wereform, like Cathangus, you can control this new wolfen form for a certain degree, but not fully determined by the DM. I let things run with as wild as I can with that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, Cathangus is like eating meat whenever he can.
Yeah, and as I said before, the way I would run it is similar to the Hulk, where you don't have direct control over the Hulk, but you can kind of guide it in the right direction sometimes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, which I actually am excited to do. I was actually planning that. So I'm happy that that's a thing.
It would also have a lot of narrative weight for Cathangus specifically because of the fact that you have shown great power when out of control. And the Wolfen would basically be fully channeling your out of control abilities in its form, in the sense that it is you fully out of control at all times while you're in.
It's also doing what Cathangus actually wanted to do, which is something he was bummed out of before, which I think I told you. Said the line specifically, I want to go fully out of control and let it all out, but I don't want to hurt anyone. This will be him letting everything all out, not holding back.
Yeah. And this would be him not... this would be the equivalent of the Raiden line from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, where it's like, my blade is sworn for peace and does not kill those who... does not kill the innocent. However, this is not my blade. And it just proceeds to go fight General Armstrong. Wait, it'd be equivalent of that, where it's like, in Wolfen form, it's like, yes, I don't like to hurt people. I don't like to hurt people. I want to solve things peacefully. But right now, I'm not myself. And you just go full Wolfen, and you just don't care about hurting people anymore.
That's the power I desire.
Which would be interesting if we ever got to the climax of the Lion thing again. Because there would be a wolf versus a dragon.
Later when Cathangus, he's becoming a wolf and dragon now!
Imagine you get the full, like, dragon ascension epic boon thing, so you get to become a full dragon while also being a wolfen, while also having Space Marine organs. Keep in mind, by the way, all these Space Marine organs are assuming you're a human. Imagine what this does to other races. Like, with everything that you read, imagine, like, what a dragon would get from having all these organs in it.
Oh, God.
Like, you already some stupid busted from just having a commoner stat block. Now take, a more reasonable stat block and apply this to it. Suddenly, things are out of hand a lot quicker.
This is what Jacob said. This is Cathangus not holding back anymore and fully going for it. For the kill, for the hunt.
The question is, if Cathangus had an opportunity, would he want to become a full spaceman? Like a full spaceman?
feel like it'll be a choice that he'll make in that moment. I want to not say actively yes or no.
Yeah.
That's so far his personality. It's just like, I'm gonna see myself in that moment. See what.
I like to think that there will be a moment, and this is me spitballing, but not me making plans. I like to think that there's going to be a moment soon we get the Canis Helix, and after a while, Finreal offers to implant it into you if you wish, or you come to someone who will. You implant it into yourself somehow. I mean, you can kind of do that given your own capabilities, but if you implant it into yourself, and then it's in your body, and you're incorporated, and you gain its benefits, but after a while, it starts to become unstable, and you start to feel weird effects, or like randomly passing out in the middle of combat, or other things. And we come to find out it's unstable because none of the other organs are there. So you're now faced with the dilemma of, do you want to keep this organ that you like, and you want to keep the Canis Helix, but be forced to go through the entire Space Marine process? Or do you want to lose the Canis Helix? That might be a dilemma you're faced with in the future. Because
I honestly would
built
like
to go with the other 19 organs. Without it, who knows how stable it would be.
This is becoming the ultimate narrative of that I was talking about before of Cthulhu. It's like, what even am I? Nobody having the proper answer.
Alright, hold on, I'll be back. My dad said ow in the other room.
Okay, I hope he feels okay.
Back. My dad hit his head on the corner of a refrigerator, but he's okay.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah, there's no blood, well, it's in his hair, so we can't tell if there's any marks, but there's no blood, there's no bump, there's none of that. He's just in pain.
Luckily, he's okay.
Yeah, thankfully he's okay. Anyway, sorry for the somber turn in tone. I've just been silently working in the background on items.
But as I was saying, this is legit. That was so far the inner thing of Cthulhu. Like, what am I? And nobody answering.
I think Finreal wants to give a smart answer of your things.
He did. It's like, I don't know what that means. It's like, you'll figure out in time. Even Zilgray actually was the first person I was like, what in fact are you? Cthulhu? No, what does that mean?
Right. Cthulhu? It's like, no, you're not a Pokemon.
I can be! I think my response is, don't tempt me. I can be.
Like, Cthulhu, use bullshit! The other notable thing, if this plot turn happened, though, with your organs, you want to know what's the biggest part about that? That would actually heavily affect the campaign.
What?
Because of how the implantation process goes, you would be gone out of the campaign for at least 6 years in-game.
True. So would Raiju.
Yes, because unless Raiju would leave your side, but I doubt he would want to do that. And more likely, it would be 10 years, just to be safe. Now, thankfully, we don't have to worry about the whole your body rejecting a thing and the restrictions on age and race for implantation. Because Finro can get around those, but he can't get around how long it takes.
I mean, 6 years in the workshop versus 6 years in... Oh, wait, no.
10 years
Hey.
in the workshop, and also, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it would take 10 in-game years. Like, actual Prime Material World in-game years. You're not getting time dilation to get out of this. Basically, it means that Cathangus would show up towards the end of the campaign.
He's gonna show fully.
What were you going to say?
No matter what, we all know that the Canis Helix next mini session is probably going to get implemented. Just a question of whether he gets the others.
You won't get them next mini-set, no. You'll have the Canis Helix for probably at least 6 to 10 sessions before it starts to show its instability, is my idea. However, to implant the Canis Helix by itself will require him to be basically 48 hours under the knife. Just for that one organ alone. And that's being generous. More than likely, it would probably take close to a week.
Sorry, at the same time, someone's being rather annoying, and I'm just like handling it.
It's okay, take as much time as you need. I'm just letting you know things in the future and making plans.
Oh, I kind of like that. I'm just trying not to be a jerk with it.
You're not being a jerk with it. The idea would be, in this case, that if you're going to do this, you're going to get some end game abilities and stats. But on the flip side, you're going to be basically shunted out of the campaign until the end game, with only you personally being able to control Dracul in that time, as well as Jeffrey and the other various statues. But Cathangus and Raiju would be removed from the campaign for however many real-life years it takes to get through 10 in-game years.
I was about to say, this could be endgame, or this could not be. We don't know how long we're planning on doing with a time skip of 10 years. No,
Right.
I'm not planning for time skip 10 years. I was just saying.
It also depends on what your definition of endgame is, too.
It does seem promising, and it's just going to be the fact of... And they just had this image of at the end, like, at the end of all this, you just see Cathangus rocking power. Oh no, Jekyll, stop saying Power Wolf.
Power Wolf.
Yes. That's basically what Cathangus is going to be. Power Wolfberg! Powerful wagon!
Yeah, because at that point, you would most likely... I mean, you wouldn't have become a full dragon at that point, but you would have definitely... If I had started the process, I would have gone the whole 9 yards and made you a Primaris, not just a normal space brain.
just your clue. He's just calling it. So Cathagus is a wagon.
A whack.
Wagon. It's a wolf dragon. Yes, that's what Cathagus is meant to be for the start. Don't you remember? Just like how it's just all coming full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this even rocks up with Cathagus' end goal of protecting the multiverse at any cost.
Why won't you look? Bomb bag doesn't want to work. Oh, that's why. There's a freaking additional space in the name that I didn't see. Someone put a space after bag.
No, it's a bag space of holding. We have to emphasize how much space is in the bag.
It was bomb space, bag space. That's why I wasn't becoming the hyperlink, because I needed to be exact. That's what. Okay, I'm getting a little tired, but I almost made it through all the bees. Which is like, yay! Do you still want me to keep battle tactic notes for Raiju and Cathagus?
Yes.
Because I don't even see anything in Raiju's.
No, I was adding that eventually.
Okay.
I mean, within the 2 weeks. Adding in whatever the fuck they can do. Oh god, this is gonna get to a narrative moment of like Thangless refights Raiju, not Raiju. No, I won't harm you, Raiju. His response is literally, "The fuck did I do?"
Why did I just hear someone scream, "Exist!" Now shut up.
That was your cool. No, Raiju, no fireball.
Fire.
I do not want to use that.
No,
Raiju's-
naming it fire belt does not work either.
His like, oh god, no! You're not going down the path of violence.
You're not a cat. You're not supposed to spit up fireballs.
That's exactly how you would do it. That's even why I joked about. I was like, "What is Raiju?" That's even what I joked about in the tavern. It's like, "What is Raiju? An anomaly?"
Yeah.
Like Raiju is Raiju. We don't question Raiju. He is an SCP basically.
It's just like a blue from Blue's Clues. It's pretty really not on.
Just like Raiju is a fucking spellcasting dog that can talk. We don't question the direwolf.
In fact, one of the first things he did on screen was come down out of the heavens and then talk to you.
Oh, tackle, hug, then talk. I know this.
Yes, I remember too.
It's like, I missed you, G. It's like, what the fuck? Direwolves don't talk?
Ugh. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Not my fault. I was going to get another 2 hours of sleep, but then my dad was like, hey, guess who has a doctor's appointment and we forgot it. I'm like, no. So I had to go to a doctor's appointment. Yeah, to be fair, he also completely forgot, so that's not even his fault. If you're looking for something to do, by the way, I did start a chess game.
I want to play chess right now. Why was there...
Go ahead.
I don't want to play chess right now. Drags out spells.
Right. For some reason, my brain did not comprehend what you said.
I like how just like that was apparently my answer. I do not want to play chess now. Fireball. So why is there only 3 of the mimics? Wait, you're still working on it.
Yes, I'll get to them eventually. If you would like to help, you may.
No,
You can help by dragging character feeds, not like notes. I'll get to notes, but character sheets. If you want to do that, that would be helpful. Yeah.
So it's been like 5 sessions since Zuckerite has used Hercules.
Yeah, because he hasn't ever won. I forget what rarity did we make the Book of Magic.
Hold on, I'm gonna look on Legendary because I think it was Legendary. No. You are not an artifact. I know you are not an artifact.
Yeah, because in Zelda lore, well, not in Zelda lore, but like in the original version of The Legend of Zelda, it was literally just the Bible.
Not even Zelda lore. You could just argue it's like in Japanese. I think it was translated to the Bible.
Yeah. And in the first Legend of Zelda game, Link had a shield with a cross on it.
I know the thing was got this from Jakul. To check artifact. Did it end up in artifact? As Gross train on 9 Spear.
That's an artifact are very rare.
Oh, there was no way I accidentally forgot.
I'm gonna get through all of the bees, and then after I'm done with all of the bees, I will call it a day in terms of
Stream?
in terms of stream, yes. Oh hey, all the books of magical knowledge.
Oh god damn it, I forgot to actually do something with that. I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
I thought I would just like okay. I thought I put the level on each one.
Yeah, you did not. So, because of this new setup, I actually don't need 5 different versions of the Book of Magical Knowledge anymore. I can now actually just have one version that all 5 of the different things reference, which is nice. And by 5, I mean uncommon to artifact.
Actually gonna
Uncommon, rare. I forgot too angry to die is literally a potion.
like a thing was just made it. It's just like there we go.
Oh, it's a book of magical knowledge. It's books of magical knowledge. I am dumb. I am so dumb. Can you tell I've been watching a lot of a certain YouTuber that both of us watch?
Yes.
I was watching his meme review. Which is probably why I'm talking about him a little bit. That and the fact that I'm tired and I kind of have less of a filter right now. Meaning this is more my normal personality without a filter. And it's funny.
Yeah,
it basically causes me to become hyper when I'm tired.
I mean, after this, you could talk about the things Cathangos gets from High Elf.
Oh, High Elf Magic, you mean? Is that referring to High Magic?
Hey, magic.
Okay.
Electrical, it's not the magic that makes you high.
No.
Just your cool. His response is, that's druidic magic.
I mean, Thorun's already made that joke before of druids have the good shit. And Thorun's actually, I believe, I won't say solicited, but he's asked Ragnarchild to give him some good weed before in character.
I think a good thing was in character also. It's just like, I'm not gonna have that.
Also, Zokurai still has the adamantine shards. And still hasn't done anything.
Zokurai's had the adamantine shards! I swear I'm gonna take them! I was about to take them before I left last time, and I'm like, oh, I should respect it.
Sadly, if you tried to take them, they would make their way back to Zokurai, because specifically they were passed on to Zokurai from his father.
I just feel like there's so much missed potential there.
Right. Well, it's like the whole thing of the noble's son inherited this great kingdom that he's just squandering. It's that sort of dichotomy at this point, but with him, where it's like, you got this powerful artifact that you're doing nothing with, and barely acknowledging its existence. So did we find out anything about the Book of Magic?
We didn't write it down as a rarity.
Okay, so I'll write it as very rare then. I think it would be either that or an artifact, one of the two. What do you think?
I like it. And Kathanga's having this is actually still powerful.
Here's the question. If you have this and you're a wizard, would you get spells out of it into your wizard spellbook? And if so, what spell?
I think we joked about this being a powerful book of magical knowledge.
Or it's related to them. Okay, yeah. I said I was going to get to all the B's, but I kind of want to stop here. I am powering down quickly.
True.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Indeed, you still are. I'll talk to y'all next time. This is fun. We're definitely going to continue this organization tomorrow.
We're gonna talk more stuff.